Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Da, 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 da. Wow, wow,
I'm playing guitar.
I can hear it.
Yeah, you hear it there? It's like, this would be like Leonard Skinner. Freebird. I don't know. Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm already cocked.
Already annoying people.
Good Wednesday morning. And, boy, that, I got to tell you, just at the point where, and listen, I'm not trying to make light or make fun or anything, but just at the moment when Brett Favre was about to get hammered by Congress,
Yeah.
he said, just before we start, I just want to let everybody know I have been diagnosed with Parkinson's.
I've had 1,000 concussions.
And good luck going after me now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You use the card.
If you had it, if you have the card, sometimes you have to use it.
It's kind of like the old "smoke 'em if you got 'em" line. If you got it, if you,
I guess so.
Right? I mean,
I guess so.
Listen,
yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, how many concussions has he had?
Well, he says 1,000.
Is that what he said?
He says he's
Well, he's probably right. He's probably right. Of course, he's concussed.
He has had a very long career.
He's been concussed so much, everything is multiplied by 10. But still, I had a long career. Think about the number of, and think about it. He was playing when we didn't protect quarterbacks like we do today.
So he's played in 302 NFL games.
Mm-hmm.
You have to imagine in high school, when he was in high school, they were still playing with the leather helmets.
At college.
We'd say he about had a
leather helmets, but
five
still.
or 600 games of football from between high school and
He was playing at a time when
that's a game.
You got knocked out, you shook your head, and you got back up. As long as the dizziness went away, the headache would still be there, and you got back up and you played.
But for him to have had over 1,000 concussions, that's 2 a game. He's getting concussed two times
remember,
a game.
He's practicing 5 days a week.
Well, okay, that's a good point.
And he would always say, "Boys, hit me like it's a real game."
Yeah,
Remember
concuss
that?
Me.
I don't know how he had 1,000, but you know what?
Nonetheless,
if he had, I mean, look at, they want Tua to retire after 3
3,
or 4 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Anyway, here is Brett Favre talking about this really difficult news. It makes the headline from yesterday.
I wanted to help my alma mater and benefit the community. Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me, because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's. This is also a cause dear to my heart.
So
Dunzo.
He just dropped it. He just dropped it out there.
Done. No more questions.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
I'll see you guys later. I'm going to lunch. Yeah. It's terrible.
It's awful.
The Yankees lose last night. Can't get it done.
No, they can't.
What would happen if are they playing the Orioles? Who are they playing? What would happen if the Orioles swept them here?
I think we'd still be up a game.
All right.
Right, Davey? We'd
And then
still
you,
be up
and
a
then
game.
you got 3 games after that. What happens if you lost out?
Well,
You're in the playoffs.
We'll be in the wild card.
Yeah, you'd be a wild card.
We were 6 up as of last night, and now we're 5 up. So if they sweep, we'll be
2 up.
2 up. And then
I don't
we
think
played
they'll sweep.
Then we played the Pirates.
The Pirates.
How about the Pirates had that player that had 4 at-bats left, and he would have gotten a $200,000 bonus.
And he got released.
And they got rid of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
He also, did you hear about the one player on the Pirates?
I believe he works for Town Square Media.
No, but
No,
did
there
you
are no
hear the
bonuses
one
here, so-
guy? He had a peg leg and an eye patch, and he's playing shortstop.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's early. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
That doesn't even deserve a rim shot.
Scurvy. I know. Couldn't get to it.
I'd rather listen to a joke of Scott than you.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Davey.
that's a
There
good
you
one,
go.
Davey.
You hit it
That
hard.
warrants that.
You hit him hard. That was better than my Town Square joke. Listen. Oh, but I get a rim shot, apparently.
I'll just passing them out today.
Okay, so, and then the Mets looked like the ghost of last year's collapse was haunting them in Atlanta.
Oh, boy.
Because last year they were swept by the Braves and knocked out of everything. And this year, if they were swept by the Braves, they'd be fighting for their lives to get a playoff spot against Milwaukee this weekend. So, now, if the Mets could win, I think it's one of these games or 2 of these games, they guarantee a playoff spot. But
Which I would hope they can do.
well,
Just like
they
I can
look
hope we
like
can
they look
beat
like
the Orioles
they
once.
look like a defeated team, and you've got 2 or 3 players that are out right now, and although I think Lindor might be back tonight if the game plays, because it looks like that hurricane is going to cause rain. Maybe today, but definitely Thursday.
I'm so annoyed about this stupid hurricane. I really, really
And
am.
then you're supposed to be in in Florida.
Yeah,
on
we
Friday.
got wedding plans to attend to. We have vendors to meet with, and it's looking like it's going to make landfall Thursday evening. Now, our flight leaves tomorrow at noon, so I'm literally doing the show and then going to the airport.
So you're either on Friday or not.
Right.
Okay.
And the problem is that this stupid storm is going to, even
It's
if
a
it's
big
not,
one.
it's going to be a large storm.
It's a big
so
one, yeah.
Even on the outskirts of it, even though it's anticipated to make landfall in the Panhandle or the Big Bend, and we'll be in Fort Myers, there's still going to be some winds and heavy rain. So maybe the flight will say, the plane will say, we're going to divert a little bit.
Okay.
But we'll see.
The old Army saying, says Mike this morning, smoke 'em if you got 'em. If you don't got 'em, bum one. If you don't smoke, start. That's worth a rim shot.
That is definitely worth a rim.
And then here's one more from Mike. I says to my wife with a wooden leg, I says, Peg, bada boom.
Thanks for recouping my pirate joke there, Mike.
There you go.
Gracious. We
Thank
have
you for that,
listeners
Mike.
to this show.
Thank you for
boy.
that, Mike. Thank you. I have there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Anyway, the Mets lose. They looked like a defeated team last night, and they just couldn't get anything going. And let's see if they play tonight. Let's see what occurs.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Well, it could be. It's possible. Anything's possible. Richard says if Baltimore sweeps the Yanks will still be 3 up. Only need to win 1 to clinch, or 1 Baltimore loss to clinch. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The Yankees are in pretty good shape. And then Richard, one more. If Baltimore sweeps the Yankees, I think I read that one.
Yeah.
No, this is a gas one. Someone needs to investigate why here in the area some Clifford stores were paying $3.49 a gallon, and down in the valley, several stations are paying $2.99 a gallon. 50 cents more a gallon here. This is called gouging.
Or gauging.
Well, it's it really what it is it's there must be some sort of a gas war. We're gonna find out. Does somebody know in the valley? Is there some sort of a gas war between the 2 stations?
Yeah, call us up.
Why else would it be $2.99? And then the other part is you see neighborhood gas prices, and it's just the way it is. You may pay $2.49 in one neighborhood. You go to another neighborhood where I don't know how they judge this, but it's like $2.59. Why is that? Same gas station.
That's just the way it is.
Richard, we'll look into it. We keep looking into it, and we keep getting the same answer. we're always going to pay more than Syracuse.
Yeah.
Based on transportation.
Wayne says this morning, you all forget that almost all players play from the time they are children. They get injured from then.
That's true.
All the way through. And the Yankees are not going to lose all the rest of the games. The Mets maybe.
Thanks, Wayne. I'll bet you that you've had a concussion and you never even knew it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Well, that would explain a lot.
Yeah. I was concussed in the groin once while playing junior high football. And I swear to God, this kid came up and did it on purpose. It was done on purpose. Because I'm 4'11". I'm ready to go. Of course, they put me on the line against all. But what am I doing on the line?
Yeah, but
you go out there, you're not going to be any good. But go out there and see what it's like. Boom! I go out there, I go to tackle. Boom! I took a knee to the groin, and
never played football again.
Was not wearing. I was the first kid in my family to ever play sports.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't have an older brother telling me, "Hey, you got to make sure you wear a cup."
Yeah.
Wear a cup.
You got to protect that thing.
If you don't wear a cup, it's going to be ugly. And the other thing he never told me was, and oh, by the way, the guy on the other side can tell whether or not you're wearing a cup. And if you're not, he's going right at you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. That was a concussion that I will never forget. It was a concussion that started in my groin and ended in my brain. It went I was down for quite some time. And then I hated football.
Yeah, instantly.
Instantly, I'm like, this is just terrible.
It's possible you suffered concussions wrestling.
Listen, anytime you hit your head,
slammed on the mat like that,
you could have gotten a concussion just at home playing in the backyard. I mean, in your living room. If you've hit your head, chances are you had a slight concussion, and it could affect the way you live your life going forward. But when you get them over and over and over again,
yeah.
I mean, and look at where you tell me there's no correlation between that and Parkinson's. Look at Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
I mean,
look at Joe Biden falling off the bike. He fell off the bike.
May have been the bike fall. That might have been it.
Senator Gillibrand saying in Rome the other day that another big issue is the traumatic brain injuries for military members, especially firing heavy machine heavy weaponry and things like that.
Jack in Rome. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Are you trying to keep people away or sleeping in the house? I hear you speaking very quietly.
I've had concussions myself.
You have?
I had my bike one time when I was a kid, split in half, and I hit our neighbor's rock at the end of his driveway.
Oh, my gosh.
I've been hit by a golf club.
Oh,
jeez.
Never stand behind the guy with the golf club.
Oh, no, you don't. And you know that the head of the golf club can come off. I've seen that happen.
Yeah, it'll fly off.
Yeah.
And then I've also fell off the back of a pickup truck back in the early part of 80. I fell off a pickup truck helping a friend, and he was going around the corner, and I came off the truck and bounced in the road, and I almost didn't make it there.
Do you think those concussions have affected you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
No, probably not.
I haven't had no problems. I haven't had no issues.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I once had a concussion, and they had just redone our road, and they had put the large crushed stone down on the road.
Yeah.
And before they paved, and we're driving our bike down the road down a hill, and I went head first. The bike went like was flipping.
Yeah, right.
Head first. And my face came down on the gravel and everything, and it scrubbed up it was dazed, still picking stuff out of my cuts on my face. Wow. It was terrible. Wow. That's why I'm so ugly.
Jeez.
Yep. All right, Jack. Well, listen, I'm glad you're with us today.
Oh, yeah. No, it's an experience. Believe me, anybody has to go through it. It is an experience.
Okay, Jack, thank you. It's funny, too, because sometimes people will think they have something and they'll be like, oh, my God, I've never had such a bad concussion. Well, then you start going through and you realize they probably don't have a concussion. But maybe they do. Maybe they do. Who do you know? How do you know? What do you know? Probably nothing.
What do you know? What do you say?
What do you say? Chuck, we asked for somebody on the Valley. Chuck Lester on the line.
Hey,
in the Valley.
Good morning.
Do you have a gas war going on down there?
Yeah, I drive, go to the gym every morning, and I go over Mohawk Street and Cliffs, and then Stewart's, and then what is it, Fast Track.
Yeah.
Every time you go by them, they're dropping the price. I think it was down around $290 something this morning for cash at most of them, at all three of them.
Okay.
And every day they're dropping it down. So they're battling out. They want your business. That's one thing. But, Billy, I also want to talk about something else if I can. 5S heading east after you cross the bridge by the Thruway interchange.
Okay.
They originally, when they temporarily marked that, they marked it 2 lanes. Going and both, heading east.
This is along the canal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then the knuckleheads came and they painted that big yellow. I call them the ladder lines, where the lines are going sideways and it, kind of pushes traffic over. Well, they did not remove all of the temporary white lines. So the other day I was coming over there, and you had some knucklehead that was driving like, his tail was on fire, and he beat me by about a second to the traffic light, but he passed me in the ladder lane, going like a wild man. And the bottom line is that it's confusing because there's still the remnants of the temporary lines and then the new stuff. So with all your influence with the DOT, maybe you can bring that to someone's attention before there's.
So is this at the Washington Street Bridge, or is it before?
No, it's at the what would it be? Mohawk Street.
The Mohawk,
Bridge,
right.
The freeway interchange is.
Which can be a very dangerous intersection. There are a lot of accidents there because they're still traveling pretty quickly, coming from the west, coming from Utica on 5S or Frankfort, and so I see.
When you come off the bridge, crossing the canal, and you turn on and you're going to go. I'm sorry, not east. I said east. That's my bad. West. When you're heading, that's my dyslexia.
Okay.
When you head west.
Yep.
There used to be a yield sign for the people heading west coming off the bridge.
Right.
And then the people
I know exactly what you're talking about.
West, going straight, they had the right of way. So you kind of merged.
Well, you do have if you're on 5S, you do have the right of way. That merging traffic has to yield. So you're saying the yield sign is gone.
Yeah, the yield sign's gone, and the sign that said the 2 lanes merged to 1.
All right.
So those 2 signs are gone. Plus, the road is still there's still the temporary. There's still some of the temporary marks to be shown. And I'm sorry, man. I heading west.
Okay, I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Chuck,
I was asked backwards. That's my fault.
Okay, and this
Chuck
is like
fell and had a concussion. This morning.
Is like the.
Well, let me tell you something. I've had my fair share of concussions in my career. And,
all right. You're up on stilts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's a good thing I land on my head, because otherwise I might get hurt.
Okay. This is very similar to the battle over by the Yanandasas Killebrew intersection going on Clinton Road, where people battle it out every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who gets the right of way there?
That's insane.
It is.
Because they actually have 2 left turn lanes.
Yep.
But most people, when they're coming off the arterial, will jump over into that far left lane.
Yes, they jump over, which they're not supposed to do.
There's a solid line.
There's a solid line there. You're not supposed to do it, but most people do it because that lane has the right of way. The right lane is merging, and it is a battle.
It's
so
kind of crazy over there.
I say when that light turns green, or you think it's going to turn green, hit the gas and fly. All right, Chuck.
Just remember, don't ask me for directions, because I don't know east, west, north.
We got it figured out, though, so we'll pass that along. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
See you guys later.
Thank you so much.
All right, Chuck.
Bye.
So I got to tell you, I got to go to the Valley on Friday. I'm going to just keep the gas down, just low enough.
Yeah, you have to time it perfectly.
Got to time it perfectly where I can fill up there. That's pretty cool. You're saving a lot. On the program this morning, Ryan Schmelz, in a few minutes, we'll speak with him. Days away from a government shutdown. Are we following any of this? I mean, I'm assuming they're going to put something together.
They have to.
Because you have an election coming up here. This won't be good for anybody. Dr. Shemaleski, it's Polish month coming up in October. or maybe this month is Polish month. I think it might be. There's a wreath laying coming up this weekend. We'll talk to Dr. Shemaleski on that in a little bit. Free money question of the day. Davey, is he in there? He's not in there. Yes, he is. What are you thinking? What dollar amount is on the line?
$200.
$200. All right, $200 today, and we'll do it around 7:35 from the Hobica Law Firm. SUNY Poly is ranked in the top 10 of public schools in New York for value and nano impact.
No. So yes, they're being honored for. That was my fault.
Okay.
So,
did I not read it right?
No, you read it right, but they're ranked in the top 10 of public schools in New York for value.
Public colleges.
Yes.
For value.
And then I'm also adding the topic
the nano
of
impact.
the nano impact
right,
for the
enough.
campus.
I didn't know there was an award for top public school for nano impact. Okay, fair enough. There's a women's fund out there, and there's a way to award and give to. We'll talk about that. Andrew Reed and the legal rundown. I cannot wait to talk to Ryan Nobles on the Mets. I know there's a lot of politics out there, but just a little baseball talk and a little Bills talk from that amazing win the other night. And how about the Bills are going at it again already? Short week now. They play on Sunday night. And we'll do our picks currently in our NFL picks contest.
Everybody is the same except for me because I had to pick the God bless.
Go through the names and where we are because we have listeners as well who are playing a role here.
So we have.
Are you just figuring this out?
Yeah, let me just.
Because I've got other stuff while you're doing your math. They're saying the Apple intelligence tools that are coming with the new iPhone will be out sooner than later. They expect it to be coming out in the month of October. It's really weird. You buy this phone, and half the features of the phone aren't going to be out until the software gets delivered. Right now, it's out in beta. So they're saying it will be out most likely coming up sometime mid to late October. So be ready for that one. Has anybody had that spiced flavor Coca-Cola? I had it when it first came out. They're pulling it from the shelves. It apparently is not doing well. So they're just going to...
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You try something out and then...
Listen, grab a can, save it if you like to collect things. It'll be worth $2 in probably 20 years.
I was at a store yesterday in the area, and I saw a display for Coca-Cola, Oreo kind Coca-Cola.
Oreo Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
What the is going on?
What are they doing?
Oreo Coke.
Mr. Oreo is on the line.
Oh, Oreo.
Ryan Schmel is standing by right now. Ryan, can't they just leave things alone like Oreos? My wife brought home a package of Oreos.
Baltimore Oreos?
That is filled with, speaking of that, I thought he'd, but no. That Ryan is filled with Pop Rocks.
What the hell?
Yeah, you eat it, it's all... Yeah.
We should be talking about how you just said that you're going to have the chairman on in a couple minutes. Ryan Nobles is the chairman of the Radio and Television Correspondents Association, where I serve as the treasurer.
I did not know that. So you know Ryan.
The Ryans know one another.
Listen, Ryan and I go... Ryan goes back. Ryan and I go way back. I was in his wedding, and we're good friends.
He's the reason I'm here with Bill.
And Ryan is the reason Andrew is with us. And I got to tell you, when I lost my radio job and I had zero television experience... but I was in a non-compete throughout most of New York State. I decided I was going to start a TV show, and I went to Ryan, who was in television, and I said, Ryan, what do you think? I'm starting a nightly TV show, 6 nights a week. It's going to be kind of a comedy, jackass type, go around the area. We're going to call it The Keeler Show. This was before Jackass, by the way. And Ryan said, don't do it. It'd be the dumbest. There's no way you're going to be able to pull this thing off. And you ask him about it, and he'll tell you it was awful for the first month, and then it was just not so bad.
Figured it out.
And then we got ratings. It was actually pretty. It was pretty good. We had a run. We had a run for about 3 years. So
there you go.
And he's a Mets fan and he's a Bills fan, so you can deal with him on that too.
That he is, yes.
Yes. But I think we're all fans of put something together so we don't have to keep living this Groundhog Day over and over again. With a government shutdown. That's how I feel anyway.
Oh, we'll see, right? Yeah. it's going to end pretty anticlimactically by the looks of everything. You know, the House is supposed to vote a little later on this afternoon, maybe even this morning. And then we will have the Senate vote later today. But they're expected to be wrapped up by tonight. And they're going to be a lot of them are trying to get home before the storm hits. But then they're also very excited to get back on the campaign trail. We've got the entire month of October for campaigning. We're down the home stretch before election time. So we'll see how things go.
So at the very least, you know they're thinking about elections, and you know they're thinking about if the government were to shut down, how that would have a negative effect. So my guess is,
of course,
something's going to have to be happening here.
Yeah, especially if you look at the New York Republicans, because that was something that one congressman by the name of Nicola Loda brought up. He's from a swing district in New York, and he said, "Well, if we have a government shutdown, I mean, guys, that's going to really hurt."
Yeah.
A lot of the swing district Republicans' chances, and especially in a state like New York when you have Congressman Anthony D'Esposito facing allegations that he put his mistress and his fiance's daughter on his congressional payroll. On top, if you were to add a government shutdown with that, a state like New York, that's going to be a big hit, especially when a lot of those Republicans are defending seats that President Biden would have won.
This was a huge state in the last election for Republicans, and this would be a disaster. I completely agree. So my guess is they're going to put something together when that happens. What is the deadline now?
Well, the deadline's Monday, but we'll be done by today. Is what we're expecting.
Yeah,
they're going to vote today. Both chambers are, and they'll be out of here by tomorrow.
So we're looking at another kick down the road. We're going to kick the can down the road.
Yes, it's an extension until December 20th. There is Secret Service funding attached to it. This is going to be a situation where they're going to try to finish passing all 12 individual spending bills that would fund the government into the next fiscal year, so September of next year. But the funny thing is that, we were expecting Speaker Johnson to potentially lay out a strategy for how he was going to attack negotiating with Democrats in December. But then a lot of Republicans said yesterday that, well, there's no point in having a strategy right now because we have to see how the election shakes out, right? We want to see who's going to be in control of the House, who's going to be in control of the Senate, who's going to have the White House, and that's going to make a big difference as to what we think we can get and what we think we can't get.
Now, while that is a smart strategy, it's also a gamble, right? Because, God forbid, one party loses the House and all of a sudden, right, all of a sudden they can get stuff done.
Well, number one, they didn't have any option because they were out of time, so they had to kick the can down the road, and this was the time that they chose. And number two, Speaker Johnson initially wanted to punt funding all the way into March of next year, but there were Republicans and Democrats who said, "No way, we're not doing that." And one of the reasons is, you can't do new military funding projects. You're funding programs that are still that we're going to be ending. So there was an argument that in the end you were going to be wasting more money than you were actually saving by kicking the can down the road.
Right.
But the argument was that Republicans would have been banking on winning the White House and Congress and then being able to negotiate their own conservative budget without any help from Democrats.
Okay. It's, again, this is like Groundhog Day. Sonny and Cher are singing at 7 a.m. The alarm's going off. Once again.
Yeah.
And I do have Jack here saying, I have lost all respect for Ryan Schmelz. How could he be friends with that liberal Ryan Nobles? And listen, I keep telling people, you're a reporter. Ryan is a reporter. They're going to report what they see. And while you will find that some reporters are biased one way or the other, for the most part, you're reporting the news. It's not your opinion. There needs to be people. It's so important. I mean, somebody who does, like Rush Limbaugh was an entertainer. He was he do commentary. He was not a reporter. Ryan, I'm defending you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate that.
And these guys are like your attorneys.
Yeah, like Schmelz has his bias for, the Orioles. And
well, that's true.
That ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
awful. It's terrible.
All right, Ryan. You have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
All right, Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio, journalist first And that's that. Got a break. We'll come right back, and I got a whole bunch. Oh, and Mike says, tell Ryan Schmelz he's a treasurer. He'll just get an appearance ticket if he embezzles the money. No need to worry. Listen, that is not just in New York.
Just say you've had concussions.
It's all over many of the states around the country, especially the blue states. Wednesday, September 25. Stand by. Coming right back at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself in love with Orpheus.
Broadway Utica proudly presents Hadestown, October 8th and 9th at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, go to BroadwayUtica.org.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Everybody thinks when you buy new windows, you just rip the old one out, stick the new one in, and voila, you're done. Nope, not the case at all. Scott and Jill here from New York Sash.
The truth is, over 50% of the time, the window frame that you pulled that old window out of has all kinds of problems, and it needs to be repaired at a minimum, and a lot of times, completely replaced.
If you just stick a beautiful new window in an old, messed up frame, you're asking for problems.
And guess what? Most of the companies just use the old rip and stick method. It's easier, faster, and cheaper.
At New York Sash, we carefully inspect the frame for rot, bug damage, messed up trim, and fix it or replace it.
Hey, do it right or don't do it at all.
Call New York Sash now and get 15% off windows, doors, or bathrooms. 315-624-7344 or online at NewYorkSash.com. That's NewYorkSash.com.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at VaxAssist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer. Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
At Mattress Express, we deliver quickly. If you've waited too long for your mattress to be delivered elsewhere, simply bring your receipt in. We will deliver the same or comparable mattress, and we will meet or beat the price and get it to you quickly. Come see us today.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
The official coffee of the Keeler and Body radio program is from Daylight Donuts, New Hartford. Check out there this morning. You're looking for a little bite to tide you over? Well, how about the avocado toast on toasted Heidelberg peasant bread at Daylight Donuts? You can get it through the drive-thru, which is really fast. You're in, you're out, you're on your way. The best coffee. Bring donuts to work. Bring a whole box of coffee in. It's Seattle's best, which is a wonderful coffee. It's Daylight Donuts right there in New Hartford. Easy to get off, easy to get in and out and back on wherever you're going. Daylight Donuts. And next week will be a Daylight with Sheriff Mashel for Coffee with a Cop.
It's a great event. It's going to be a great event.
All right,
it's something that a lot of police agencies have done, but
yeah.
This is going to be a good one.
The Pick'em, NFL Pick'em contest includes
some brutal picks this week.
Some contestants. Let's go over where we are currently, and then the picks this week will be picking soon.
You, Davey, Wayne, Jake, Larry, all at 4. I'm at 3 because I had to pick the stupid Falcons over the stupid Chiefs.
Well, you were close.
Even though the Chiefs, yet again, and I didn't really watch the game at the end, but yet again, we didn't talk about it. There was a no call.
Oh, no call.
That helped the Chiefs.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Stupid mother, what.
You know, according to the experts, the number going into week number 4, the number 1 quarterback in the NFL is Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah. Thank you.
As he should be.
Thank you, Wayne. He came above Mahomes. That'll bounce back and forth.
Amazing.
Well, he certainly looked at this week. I'll tell you that. All right, Wayne, what do you...
He's amazing. As long as he's got everybody, if you got a good offensive line and you can move a little bit with your legs, he's amazing.
Yes, no doubt about it. All right, Wayne, what do you have?
All right. I just, over the years, I've had no luck with windshields on cars. For some reason, I either get behind somebody that a rock comes off of somewhere, or the kid next door's got a BB gun.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Or something. Just anything. Or even like my brother set a ladder on top of my car one time, and it spider cracked my windshield from the top of the roof all the way down to the bottom in 10 directions, right? Because he slammed it down instead of setting it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, that one there I knew I had to replace. The other ones were just like, just bullseye, nicks. And every time I've ever gone to one of them places, the old when I go there and I say, what could you do for me?
Safe Life Repair.
Safe Life Repair.
You had to throw the name out there. I was protecting the name.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah.
So, Bill, this is the best part. Every time I've gone there, I've had the guy come out with the book, and he does the thing, and he looks, and I get the, no, that's just, it's a centimeter or a millimeter too big. No, that we're going to have to replace every time. So I said, okay, go again, boom, same thing again. This is the third time I go, and this is for different vehicles. They look, and I go, let me guess, can't do it. No, well, I could do it, but I can't guarantee nothing. And if it does, then I don't know, you're better off. How much is it to repair it? It's $225 just to put that stuff in there just to fix the bullseye, which is a brand new one's $425. Okay, so I'm like, oh, well, geez, it doesn't make any sense to get the little bullseye repaired when you can get the whole thing repaired for a couple $100 more. So I said, you know what? I'm kind of like heated because I had a construction truck threw a rock and hit this one. So I turned around and I went over to AutoZone and I went in and I bought that Permatex $18, $20, plus tax. It was $20. I threw a blanket on the hood and I had Angeline do it.
Okay.
So because she's better at following every direction. Me, I skip over directions. So she goes through and she follows the directions. She does it all. I'm telling you, Bill, you can't even see where this thing was the size of a quarter. You can't even see where it is now.
You repaired it yourself.
Oh, Angeline did it. I kind of watched her and kind of
you guided her. Yeah, you guided her.
Yeah. Well, it needs a woman's touch. Something like that probably does.
Because she reads every single. She's like really into the details. Where I'm like, I'll skip over something.
Yeah, you'll skip the instructions. Do it the way you want.
I got to tell you, when
I got a couple screws left over.
It's like buying IKEA furniture. It's like we get home, I'll put it together, but you read the directions and tell me what to do. Because I just get very frustrated with that stuff. By the way, my friend Sam Bleaking, I've called him Gerald since we were in elementary school, is at Aero Auto Glass. I always use them. They're very good. And they'll come right to your place, too. But you don't need it because you have Angeline.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, where were you when I needed you? I needed you in the beginning.
I am here. Well, it worked out for you. Very nice.
All right, so do we
$20. That was awesome, and you can't.
That's
really
good.
You can't tell. I mean, even if you got a magnifying glass and looked at it, you could not tell.
That is really good, and I hope it lasts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, me too. And if
All
it don't, guess what? $400 to the side.
That's right. There you go. Well, you got to go to
Budget for
Arrow.
it.
Go to Arrow Auto Glass in Yorkville. Then
That's good to know because
they don't have a jingle.
needed that
That should be their
recently.
slogan. Go to Arrow Auto Glass. They don't have a jingle.
They don't have a jingle.
All right. Thank you, Wayne.
Wait, do we want to get Wayne's picks now, or do we want to wait till tomorrow?
Let him think about it because these are going to be tough
Yeah,
picks.
these are going to be tough ones.
All right, Wayne, here are the picks that you're going to have to deal with.
All right, here are the games to pick from this week. Cowboys, Giants, Bills, Ravens. Two really awful teams in the Titans, Dolphins, and the Seahawks, Lions. These are all going to be very difficult choices.
4 games?
So we're picking 4 games?
4 games this week, yeah.
Who came up with that brilliant idea? I didn't do it. Well, I can tell you right now.
Because there's 2 games on Monday night.
But there were 2 games
on Monday last night.
We didn't pick 2. All right. Okay, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to take the Giants.
Oh.
I am going to take, and these are my unofficial picks. I do believe the Bills will win. You can look that way if you want. The Bills are going to win this game.
That's going to be a tough one.
And I believe Miami will win.
I don't know, man.
I'm just telling you.
I mean, Will Levis is pretty bad, but they're going to Boyle or who else?
I could change everything from here out.
Hundley?
You never know.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
Wayne, thank you. We'll do picks.
Hey, before I let you go, what a world we live in where a 16-ounce cup of coffee costs more than a gallon of gas.
Yeah, think
and I
about
leave
that.
you with that.
All right, thank you. Here is
Thanks, Wayne.
quickly John and Bridgewater.
Wayne's wisdom.
I'm almost out of time, John. Actually, I am out of time.
I'll call you back.
Call back. Thank you.
All right.
I have to break because we have this little thing called
Commercial
News, which is coming up next on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square Media Station.
Targeting Tel Aviv. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Israel's military says it's intercepted a missile heading toward the city and taken out the missile launcher in Lebanon with an airstrike.
For the first time ever, Hezbollah launched what it claims is a long-range ballistic missile at Tel Aviv, sending millions of Israelis into bomb shelters this morning. An interceptor from Israel's David Sling system collided with the incoming missile just after 6:30 this morning. Hezbollah claims it targeted Mossad's spy agency headquarters as retaliation for Israel's assassination of its leaders and exploding the group's communication devices last week.
Fox's Nate Foy in Tel Aviv, Israel. Tropical storm Helene is getting stronger on the way to Florida's west coast. There are mandatory evacuation orders in effect with landfall forecast tomorrow.
We're anticipating Helene to become a major hurricane taking aim on Florida's Big Bend and bringing widespread impacts for much of the state. Life-threatening storm surge, hurricane-force winds, power outages, over a foot of rain, and tropical tornadoes, all possible ahead of the storm as it moves inland tomorrow. Also important to note that the effects will be felt from the southeast up into the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys as the system is expected to stall over the weekend.
Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. People ordered to leave their homes because of a rail car leak in Whitewater Township, Ohio, may find out this morning if they're allowed to return.
The chemical venting from the Genesee and Wyoming Railroad tanker car was styrene, a flammable gas that can be fatal if inhaled.
If you're feeling physical effects and you feel concerned, I would call emergency service, call 911.
Little Miami Fire Chief Mike Sifke. The leak stopped by Tuesday afternoon, but not firefighter concerns. They've been monitoring the tanker car and using water to cool it down.
Fox's Carmen Roberts. Vice President Harris campaigns in Pennsylvania today. Former President Trump in North Carolina. America's listening to Fox News.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is, Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
China says its military has successfully fired an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Pacific Ocean today as part of annual training. It's the first time China's publicly announced such a test in more than 4 decades. President Biden has a live interview scheduled on The View on ABC this morning. He's in New York for the UN General Assembly.
Addressing the United Nations General Assembly for the 4th and final time, President Biden told world leaders their test is to make sure forces holding us together are stronger than those pulling us apart.
I saw it as a young man. I see it today. But we are stronger than we think. We're stronger together than alone.
Before leaving office in January, President Biden will make at least a few more foreign trips. The White House announcing he will travel to Germany next month to support NATO before visiting Angola to strengthen economic ties on the African continent. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Vice President Harris's speech in Pittsburgh today is supposed to be focused on the economy, manufacturing, and the economy was former President Trump's focus yesterday in Savannah, Georgia.
Former President Trump said if elected to another term,
I will appoint a manufacturing ambassador whose sole task, and it'll be a
Right now, we're at 57 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. Officials at St. Joseph's Health are now issuing a very important warning to patients. They say people who are insured by Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, I'll get through it, could lose access to the healthcare provider. The current contract between Trinity Health, which is the hospital's parent company, and Excellus is scheduled to expire January 1st. The president and CEO of St. Joseph's says negotiations aren't going well, and it's possible an agreement will not be reached. The New York State Department of Transportation is holding an open house tomorrow to talk about a new exit on Interstate 690. The goal of the upcoming project at the interchange of Krause and Irving Avenues is to make it easier for folks to get to Syracuse University and the area hospitals. The meeting runs from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Central New York Biotech Accelerator at Upstate. On East Fayette Street in Syracuse, the project's contractor will be available to answer questions. Governor Hochul says 6 providers in New York State will be sharing almost $90 million to help support critical youth mental health services. Money will go towards helping children between the ages of 11 and 17 avoid any extended stays in psychiatric emergency facilities. Hochul believes investing in key programs will make it easier for kids to get the help they need. And the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee is also releasing the results of its latest Speed Awareness Week campaign. Data shows between September 9th and 15th, more than 50,000 tickets were handed out to motorists across the Empire State. The list of violations included speeding, distracted driving, and being behind the wheel while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Fatal crashes caused by unsafe speed increased during the summer and fall, with the highest totals being in June through October. And a Long Island community that's been overrun by Canadian geese is turning to dogs to help solve the problem. The town of Oyster Bay has hired a company that uses Australian shepherds to chase the birds away twice a day. Each goose deposits up to 4 pounds of droppings a day, and that waste can contain Salmonella, E. coli, and MRSA. Town officials say the good thing about the dog patrols is that they don't hurt the birds, they just herd them, and the flocks take off. The hope is that the geese will fly away permanently. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we will see rain showers, cloudy skies, and a high in the mid-60s. Showers with a possible thunderstorm overnight with a low in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's showers with a possible thunderstorm. We'll see a high in the low 70s. Weekend looking really good, though. Starting Friday into Sunday, even into early next week, we'll see sunny skies with highs in the mid-70s.
I can't believe we're right back up into really nice weather.
Yep.
After this brief cool spell and rainy spell.
Hopefully it continues to be an Indian summer.
The weekend looks nice.
It does indeed. Right now, however, we're at 56 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:08.
This is my cue?
Yes.
At 7:08.
Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Yankees dropped their series opener against the Orioles after falling 5-3 at Yankee Stadium because they just can't put things away. Clark Schmidt was charged with the loss after allowing 3 runs on 4 hits over 5 and a third innings. Gleyber Torres went 3 for 4 at the plate, but had a bonehead base running error that could have helped maybe save the momentum and possibly the game. Of course, Aaron Judge hit his 56th home run of the season. New York is now leading the AL East by 5 games at 92-65. They'll continue their 3-game set tonight in the Bronx. The Mets were unable to extend their winning streak after falling to the Braves 5-1 in their series opener at Truist Park. Luis Severino suffered the loss after allowing 4 runs on 7 hits over 4 innings pitched. Mark Vientos provided all of the offense for the Mets after hitting a solo home run in the top of the 7th. Now, New York remains in the second NL wildcard spot at 87-70, still a half game up on the Diamondbacks, but now just 1 game ahead of the Braves. The series continues tonight in Atlanta. These are, hate to sound cliche, must-win games for the Mets.
Well, they got to win a couple of these games to get in. It's just got to happen.
Yep.
And I believe 2 wins against the Braves would get them into the wild card spot.
That may be the case. Syracuse looking to shake off their recent loss. Oh, that was a terrible loss on Saturday or Friday night.
Just it has put everything into a tough position because unless they overperform with some of the big teams they have coming up. They may be You may be looking at a regular 6-6 season. They may not make a bowl game.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put them at 6 wins just yet. I think they have a better team than that. But
I'm just saying, when you look at who they have coming up, all the experts are like 6-6.
Well, they have Holy Cross this weekend, and then they have UNLV. And then they have to travel to UNLV to play in. They're playing in Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas, and then they have UNC, NC State. The only big test they really have is Miami of Florida.
Yeah, well,
but they don't have no Clemson. They don't have no Florida State.
Who'd they play last weekend?
They played Stanford.
Who'd they lose to last weekend?
Stanford.
My case is currently rested. I'm not sure this is the team we thought it was.
Well, look at the team. They beat Georgia Tech.
They certainly weren't the other day.
Well, listen, everybody has a bad game.
They'll bounce back this Saturday, unless Holy Cross has an A-OK game.
Can you move the 7:40, Andrew, to 8:40? Is that possible?
Why? Has Ryan got his...
Yeah, I can move Ryan into 7:40.
All right, yeah, we can do it.
All right, if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. All right, anything else you have?
There's really nothing else to do at this point.
Okay. Davey, anything you want to add? Okay. Then that means I got a break. Coming up, we'll do Hobica's free money question of the day. It is worth $200 at 7:35 this morning. Also, I want to tell you that tickets are on sale right now for the 99th anniversary bash. The 99th birthday bash coming up at Rome Capitol Theater for WIBX, featuring an amazing stand-up show by our man, Jimmy Fallon. I am excited. And you want to add to that? I can see you want to add to that. No?
No.
Okay, you're just talking in the air. Listen, tickets are on sale right now. Go to RomeCapital.com. RomeCapital.com. You can buy your tickets. Great seats still available. The man, Jimmy Fallon, coming back to Utica December 6th, a Friday night And tickets are on sale while they last right now at RomeCapital.com.
Celebrating our 10th anniversary, the beautiful red, white, and blue will once again appear along Utica's Memorial Parkway as the Good News Center once again presents Flags for Heroes, honoring our active military, veterans, and first responders. Hi, this is Brian Seville, Executive Director of the Good News Center.
And this is Jackie Warmoth, Vice President of Citron's Clinical Development. Be a part of this beautiful tribute displaying the red, white, and blue of 1,000 American flags along the Utica Memorial Parkway, November 1st through the 11th.
All proceeds will benefit Citron's military program. This program helps veterans and service members returning from duty who are faced with physical, psychological, and emotional changes in their lives.
You can show your support and gratitude by sponsoring a flag in honor or memory of your loved one for only $40. Call us today at 315-735-6210 or log on to thegoodnewscenter.org. Flags for Heroes, November 1st to the 11th. A special thank you to Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas for sponsoring our 10th annual Flags for Hero event. Please sponsor a flag today.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself in love with Orpheus.
Broadway Utica proudly presents Hadestown, October 8th and 9th at the Stanley Theater. For tickets, go to BroadwayUtica.org.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. Made in America, made for you, and made to last. Artesian Spas are designed with your wellness in mind, and Tucker Backyard has many styles and designs displayed in their one-of-a-kind showroom. Come see for yourself and experience fully functional spas in their unique setting. Ben Tucker and his staff will be happy to assist with their interactive showroom, helping you pick out the right spa fitting both your needs and budget. Relax in your new spa this fall with Tucker Backyard and Artesian. While there, ask about the new line of fiberglass pools, built to last for years and never needing a liner. Beauty and complete durability more affordable than ever before. Add fun, comfort, wellness, and value to your home with Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com.
We bring the fun to your backyard.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, I got to say that it is unfolding right now as we speak in Herkimer County. Explore the Herkimer Diamond Mines, savor the taste of Herkimer cheese, take a boat tour along the historic Erie Canal. Still going on, and you have a beautiful weekend to look forward to coming up this weekend in Herkimer County in terms of weather. Whether you're local or just passing through, come into Herkimer County, where history and commerce and beauty collide. We'll tell you a few things that are coming up. The Little Falls Cheese Festival, the Little Falls Garlic Festival is coming up. And if I may, happening right, and there's still, by the way, some of the food truck events that are going on weekly that are still doing well that you can check out. Frankfurt Harbor Fest was just last weekend. And right now, this is more important than anything. Right now, we have been told there is a gas war happening.
Oh, yes.
In Ilion, between Stewart's, Fast Track, and Cliffs. And when one lowers the price, the other lowers the price. I believe we're down to like under $3. It's like $2.80 to $2.99, something like that.
I might be taking a trip to the Valley today.
It might even be lower right now.
Yep.
And who knows how low it will go. We'll find out. That's happening right now in Herkimer County. History, commerce, beauty, and in this case, low gas prices collide. It means it's happening in Herkimer County.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
As Mike says this morning, how low will it go? And we're clearly talking about the gas price limbo in Ilion and Herkimer County. How low can you go? Yeah. Stop. There. Thank you. A few other comments here this morning. Chiefs of the New Patriots with these ridiculous calls. Deeds in New Hartford. What a great point Steve just made about cars and trucks that can still be registered. Deeds. That must have been from yesterday.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Darlene and Sequoia. Yes, Bill. The Horn Dorset always amazed us. When you used to walk into that restaurant, and listen, it was pricey. It would be a special moment. You would go there. Oftentimes, people would take a car down or a limo down to Leonardsville. You'd always see a limo or a town car there.
Yeah, it's a great
and
restaurant.
People would come from all over, big businesses.
Their dip is really good.
The which is back now, the Horn Dorset dip. But everybody can make that. But they only it's made special there.
My aunt makes it every year for New Year's. It's great.
I do too, for Christmas. And but those old the waiters that used to be there, the place was always jamming.
Oh yeah.
And they would never use a pen or paper to write down your order.
It was almost
like
be
a table of 12, and they would remember every single. It was I don't know how they did it.
It's almost like they had to. It was a requirement if you worked there.
I think it must have been. And it was a pure French restaurant. It's no longer a pure French restaurant.
So there's
and listen, they're doing a wonderful job down there. It's nice that it's open, but I long for the days of just the people that were. I love the people now. I'm not trying to be no. I'm not. I am not saying anything negative. I like it down there. We like it down there, but it was something different. Like you would go to New York City to a restaurant, one of the finest restaurants, and you'd say, I got to tell you, I think it's better at Horn Dorset in Leonardsville in the middle of cow pastures.
Maybe that had some of the allure. There's a French restaurant, by the way, a buddy of mine who's a veteran just had his grand opening.
Is this one of the old peepers?
Yeah. No, that's going to be. It's close
to
there.
That's a French. That's a French bistro.
It's going to be called Silk, but this is Le Bistro.
Le Bistro. Oh,
and
okay. So that's not the.
It's not the old Peepers building, but it's in that area. Yes,
didn't know it. We definitely have to check that out. I do love French food. Hard to find now. They're very Canal Side's no longer French. La Petite Maison in Waterville was always a great French restaurant.
Les Petits Maisons.
That just how you said it. No longer there. And Horn Dorset, while it is kind of French, it's still not the same French restaurant, exclusively French that it used to be. And then important question from John in Deerfield. Tipping question. Tip based pre or post tax bill. So when you get your bill, do you just take, like if your bill is $50, do you take the $50 or you subtract the tax and then calculate the tip?
That's a good question. I think my thought on it initially, I haven't put too much thought into it other than right now, is
you don't think about it when you're. If you don't think about it when you're at dinner, then you just pay.
I pay with it, but
after tax.
What I'm saying is, really thinking about what you should do, and I think the fact that unless this no tax on tip thing happens with either candidate, you've got to factor in the fact that they're getting taxed on their tips. So why not do the tip based on what your tax is? Your bill post tax.
So the rule is
20% of the total bill.
The rule is no. The rule is technically it's 15% of before tax. That is the
15 cent before.
That's customary.
15% before tax.
Correct. That is customary. However, I give 20%.
Fire Lance and Lee right up.
Well, I'm just telling you, that's what if you go to one of these, people that what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm looking for. They'll tell you that it's before tax. You don't pay tip on the tax, and an average tax in the United States tip is 15%. But I think today it's become kind of the norm, especially since COVID, where most people give 20%. And as I said, if it's bad, it's 15%. And believe me, I've walked back to the table after we went out. Oh my God, I forgot my such and such. And I walked back in because the person who was nice enough to pay the bill left like a 3% tip. So I would go back in and
that's always a tricky
It's embarrassing
position
for everybody if the tip isn't left. I feel
overall
these people are working very hard. And the other part of this is, so I pay after tax. I do it after tax. Pay now. The only time it comes in, the only time you'll think about it, because I don't even think about it. It's just like, all right, the bill is $68.70. I'm paying a tip on $70. So I round it up and then usually do 20%. Now, when it will affect you is when you're taking a whole family out to dinner. You got 10 people, and the bill comes in, and it's $1,200 before tax. Then they add the tax, and then you're like, well, I think I'm going to pay before tax. Right? So there's my answer.
That's awesome.
John. You don't feel it until something like that happens. You disagree with me? Feel free. 315-736-0186. John in Bridgewater on the line right now. John, good morning.
Hey, Bill, my key still fits.
What's that?
The door at work. I said my key still fits the door at work.
Okay.
That's good.
Listen,
haven't
you're
changed
just
the locks.
looking out for the people who work with you.
Bill, I'm telling you, you guys have no clue what we went through here.
I
man.
can't imagine. I really can't.
I want to apologize to Andrew. Andrew, I sent you a bunch of pictures, but I sent them to your personal phone, and I forgot how to do it to the, send them to you guys. So
I got to tell you, John, I don't get stuff from you regularly, so I don't know if you're sending it to somebody else, but I have not.
You're Andrew, and my future son-in-law's name is Andrew. So I have to be, like
he's the one getting the stuff.
So,
all right.
Yeah, it's well, now we're still down because we've got a major water leak. And the boiler's down, and the company that does it, they're a phenomenal company. They're called Trojan Boiler Works out of Gloversville.
And they're fixing the problem.
They did the first work. We paid them, and it took a long time for the company in Tennessee to pay them off. So now we need work done. They quoted $5,500 or whatever. But Tennessee says, well, can you call them and see if they'll take half now and half when the job is done?
Oh, okay.
And I just looked at my boss and laughed. I go, are you serious? So now we're still without steam, no work.
Wow. So you have no work.
Crazy.
I got to tell you, I'm loving the inner workings of your workplace. It's really, we're learning everything.
Yeah. Hey, my boss says as long as you're in the plant and you stay here, you're going to get paid.
All right.
John, so what are you doing? You're playing Scrabble or you're playing cards? What are you doing?
Oh, I kind of make myself look busy. I carry a broom around. And,
well, it's a good time to clean things up, paint something that's chipped away, and
the place is spotless.
Okay.
I went through and cleaned.
Nice.
Anyways, thanks for
for
letting me get a little airtime and. But
All right.
we're still plugging along.
And what's your name that saved the water there?
Aaron Brockovich.
You're the Aaron Brockovich of your
Hey,
workplace.
real quick, if you guys, did you hear Friday? Half the fire departments were at our plant Friday night.
I did not hear that.
A big steam line above the door going into the boiler room blew, and it showed up at Central Security as a fire.
Okay, that could really
showed up,
injure
National
people.
Grid,
Okay.
the Water Authority,
Wow.
fire. So
All right. Latest update from John's workplace.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still working, and my
he's-
number punches in on a time
And
clock.
they still let him in the building. I love it.
See you guys
All right,
later.
John, thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Here is Cordelia. Hi, Cordelia. Cordelia, good morning.
Good morning. You were talking about Ryan Nobles. He was just on TV.
Yes.
And he was talking about the president's coverage, and then trying to assassinate him.
Yeah,
and I guess Iran's got a big number on him. In the meanwhile, it's been kind of whispered that we haven't seen Harris around. And apparently at one of her headquarters, somebody shot bullets into it somewhere.
I saw that, yeah. That somebody shot into the campaign headquarters, yeah.
Yeah. So that was some. But getting back to Ryan, I remember when he worked for Joe Grippo, and when we used to do all the campaign parades, and he always used to come to me for scissors and tape because he says I forgot him again.
Well, he's gonna be on in about 15 minutes. He's coming early this morning, so.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Cordelia. I'll tell him you said hi and you're looking for. You've got his scissors for him.
Okay. And thanks a lot. Bye
All right, thanks. Jake in Utica. Good morning, Jake.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
Listen, here's what puzzles me. Maybe you got the answer. There's the Atlanta Braves, but not the Cleveland Indians. You got the Chiefs.
I do not know.
I brought this up the other day.
Yeah.
Why are the Chiefs an issue or not an issue?
Yeah.
Well, the Atlanta Braves would be yeah. Well, you can come right on in. The Atlanta Braves would be complimentary, wouldn't it? Because you're calling them brave. I don't know.
I don't know either. And then there's the Florida State Seminoles.
Well, that is a very, because that is in conjunction with the Seminoles, the actual Indian Native American tribe. They come out during the pregame. They're a part of everything that happens there. It is done in a very, very respectful and tributing way. They tribute those Native
You had to look
Americans.
at the Chiefs like.
But the Chiefs, I have no idea.
What if you were to say to a Native American
Is it-
person,
aren't the
"Hey,
Chi-
Chief"?
So is it the Braves? Who does that?
I think the Braves,
I know.
and I think there's some stuff with the Chiefs traditionally that they do.
I don't know the answer to
friend
that,
of mine-
Jake.
A friend of mine's a Cleveland Indian fan. And I'll tell you, when they changed the name, he was like so upset about it.
Well,
And
the one
he
thing
get-
about the Cleveland Indians is like their logo was of a goofy looking Indian. I think it was done in a very disrespectful way. I don't
That's a
know.
good point.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't. Listen, you still have the Oriskany. Has Oriskany changed?
They have, yeah.
They have, but you still have a couple of like the Whitesboro Warriors.
I think they are still the Warriors.
I don't understand why some change and some don't either. I don't understand it.
Listen, I didn't ruin your guys your day when I was talking about restaurants.
Oh, you ruined my night, is what you ruined.
No,
I went out
you're
to dinner
fine.
and I'm like, I'm not sure I can eat. I know they're not doing anything bad here, but I just listening to Jake this morning. I was telling my wife all about it, and she's like, "Why would you even tell me that?"
I promise you, I was there.
I know. I'm not questioning you. I'm not
oh my
questioning
God.
you.
I know. Listen, can I tell you one story quick?
Okay.
It's not a restaurant story.
Okay.
Oh, good. What else are you going to ruin for us?
No, wait. No, quick. I was 18 at the time. Thanksgiving Day, my mother cooked, and the smell of, when it's Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Special
the food
aroma.
stuff. Yes. So my father invites his friend and the guy's wife over for dinner. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. So my father's carving the turkey, and now I'm sitting across from his buddy. What do you think he does, the friend?
Oh, no.
He takes out his handkerchief and he blows his nose at the table.
God.
Why do people do that?
I don't know. And use it like so loud, so hard that it's like creating a horn sound.
Hard, he honks.
Yeah.
I
I
get
don't
up
know.
off the chair and I go in the bedroom. I start listening to records. My mother knocks at the door. I get up. I was on the bed.
You're like, I can't eat.
listening to music.
Yeah.
I said, Ma. She said, we're about to eat. I said, he ruined my dinner.
Yeah, I can't eat. I don't blame
My
you.
appetite's gone. My appetite's
I mean, get
gone.
up and walk away from the table if you have to do that.
Appetite's gone.
Yes. Yep. I'm with you. You
go
know,
in the bathroom or go outside.
we were at a breakfast. I'll just tell this quickly. We were at a breakfast buffet just recently, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I look at my wife, and she's livid. I'm like, what is going on? There was a man that looked just like Davy Crockett. If you look at the old real photos, I swear to God, the only thing he was missing was the raccoon hat.
Yeah.
He looked just like Davy Crockett really looked. If you look at historic pictures, he looked like Davy Crockett. Anyway, they had this whole fruit area, like a fruit bowl, and then they had yogurt, and they had whipped cream. And the guy takes the spoon and puts a whole nice little helping of whipped cream on his plate, then takes the spoon. I swear to God on my life, my wife takes the spoon and licks it off.
That is
puts
awesome.
the serving spoon back in the giant bowl of whipped cream. And my wife, I thought, was going to just... so she went over and told the woman. Then you see, like, the waitress that was over there. And then all of a sudden, all these people came out. They took the big bowl away. And there's that guy. Now, he's an older guy. I mean, clearly from probably the era of Davy Crockett. And maybe didn't know better, but give me a break. What the hell is wrong with you?
Hey, Bill,
I'm not sick at all.
Your wife. I could see your wife now. She must have been. Wow.
It's... and then I said to her as she was sitting there eating her eggs, I said, I bet he did the same thing to the eggs and you just didn't see it. And that just ruined breakfast for everybody. We couldn't finish breakfast.
So
okay.
I waited like 3 hours. Then those people left. Then I got up and I ate.
And you can't bite.
I tried to get that out of my head.
It's not easy. It's not easy, Jake. And we'll be expecting your picks come Friday, okay? So get ready for that, all right?
You want to do it Friday? Well,
Tomorrow, you're right. We got to do it tomorrow. So we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you, Jake.
Hey, have a good day, guys.
You do the same. Thank you.
Bye now.
In studio right now is Dr. Shemaleski. And Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Glad
morning.
to have you in here. Dr. Shemaleski is from the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, although that is not who you are representing. I'm going to try to make the move here, Andrew. That's not who you're representing today. Explain.
That's correct. My last name, Shimilewski, as you probably guessed, is Polish.
Italian. Polish. Right, yes.
Polish. Well, that brings up a good point. October month is a Polish Heritage Month.
It is
and
October.
I'm here to talk about that. And people ask me sometimes, what is the big deal about all this? And I say, well, because we're celebrating our ethnic composite, if you will, of our area of Utica. Utica is not a Polish town. It's not Italian. It's not, African American. It's not Latino. It's not Korean. It's all of those.
Right.
And I
the
say
big
to
melting
people,
pot.
I'm sorry.
It's like a melting pot.
It is, you know. And I tell people, look, come to, the Polish Community Club or some of the events we have. I can talk about in a second. But, when there are the Italian festivals, I'm Italian. When it's St. Patrick's Day, I am Irish.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tell people, embrace all of these things. When I was growing up, this is a time
and your
when
parents were immigrants.
I'm an immigrant.
You are an immigrant also to this country.
You know? And, I can remember my mother, she was saying, you're not better than anybody else, but you're just as good.
Right.
And that was a time in the 50s where there were a lot of slander and different things against the Polish population.
Against the Italians, against the...
Exactly, every ethnic group. So we all suffered those things. So I was not really that interested in my cultural background until I went to Poland, in 1993, and then I learned Polish and the culture and traveled around the country. And I realized what a rich tapestry it is of the culture. It's more than just pierogi and kielbasa, believe me.
Which those are very good things.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I started looking into the things, and as a physician, I wanted to talk a little bit about the contribution of some of the scientists and the physicians that are Polish.
So I will tell you that because we're a little behind, I only have about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
And if you want to stay, if you could stay past 8, I could bring you back in. But for now, I got about 3 minutes to plug everything in.
Okay.
And it is this is a big, and it starts here in September. It starts this weekend, right? The
Yes.
celebration.
Yeah. Actually, on Friday, September the 27th at City Hall, there's going to be a flag raising.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Obviously, the American flag will be up there as it should be, and then the Polish flag will be there, and there will be some speeches and so forth, and dignitaries there.
Nice.
So that's at 12 noon at City Hall. And then on Sunday, there is a recognition of the Polish-American general, Pulaski, or Pulaski, we call him, Kazimierz Pulaski. And if anybody comes there to the wreath laying in memory of the father of the American cavalry, that's going to be at the Parkway, on the corner of Oneida and Parkway, at his statue at 2 p.m.
Got it.
And then finally, we're going to be having a Oktoberfest festival in the Polish Community Club, and that's going to be October the 5th. And my understanding is that starts at 4 o'clock. They'll have an incredible band, the Nervous Wrecks.
Oh,
they're
very
awesome.
good.
They always, and the Polish club puts on a great party no matter what the time of year. They do an awesome Boilermaker party with Nervous Wrecks every year
During
as well.
October, I don't know if you know this, but Nervous Rex changes their name to Nervous Rexki for an honor of the Polish, I believe it is. So that's probably not true.
Oh, never mind.
Are you okay?
You had
okay. And then, so that's October. And the brewery is doing a big Oktoberfest every week, too, over at their beer garden, which is really cool.
Yep.
But your Oktoberfest is 4 till 10 o'clock at the Polish Community Center on October 5th.
Correct.
All right.
Love to see you all there.
And briefly, we're going to do our free money question, Davey. What caller number are you looking for? I'm trying to squeeze as much in as I can.
Caller 6.
6 caller right now. Your chance to win $200. We're going to do that coming up in just a second. 315-736-0186. Quickly, and I don't know if you can compile this into 1 minute, but you have a very amazing story to tell of how your family came to
Sweden after that. And because of the political turmoil between the Russians and Finland and stuff, and the atomic bomb and everything, my dad said, we got to go to America.
Yeah,
it's the only place to be safe. And so we came here. I was a year and a half old. My one daughter, Michelle, she went to Ellis Island and looked up the family. I don't know if she didn't believe us.
That is so cool.
But anyway, she found that.
That.
She found me, and supposedly I came over, I was 11 years old.
Oh, and
so I've got to maybe correct that.
You were not 11.
No, I was 1.5.
Wow.
So they probably dropped the slash and the 2.
And then you followed in your father's footsteps and became a physician.
Yes.
And now run the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I like to say too that when you're helping out someone, I saw that firsthand with my dad. You're not Polish, you're not Italian, you're just someone out there trying to help a person.
Well, I have to say, though, in deference to my parents, who came loving this country. I'm an American, first of all, and I love this country and everything about it. I even get maudlin sometimes thinking of all the wonderful things we have. Sometimes we just bash ourselves too much on that. And there's so much good. And I don't care, Polish, Italian, you mentioned Irish earlier, Native American, whatever. This is an incredible country.
Yeah.
I'm an American first, but I'm Polish American.
All right. And we'll talk more about this as we get into October. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Davey, you're looking for caller number what again? You have the caller? All right, we already have the caller. Quick break. We'll come right back and give you a chance to win Hope Ika's free money question. Then Ryan Nobles from NBC is coming up next on WIBX.
This is Kevin Fear, president of Mattress Express. You may have heard in the local media that one of our competitors has filed for bankruptcy. Please do not confuse that company with my company, Mattress Express. We are your local, solid, reliable hometown mattress store. I've been in business in this community for over 35 years. I am here today I will be here tomorrow. If you have ordered a bed elsewhere and it has taken far too long to come in, bring your receipt to Mattress Express. We will meet or beat the price on the same or comparable bed and get it delivered quickly for you. If you see a bed advertised locally, we will do the same. And right now, on most king and queen sets in our store, get a free adjustable base upgrade and take up to 5 years to pay on anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details. Shop with confidence at Mattress Express.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
What's up, Utica? It's Ryan Schmelzer. It's Sam LaBerge.
It's Joe Gambardella.
Amber Gala. Fires! Score! Are you ready for Comets hockey?
It's fast, it's intense, it's a good time.
We need you in the building.
You can't miss a moment.
Every hit,
Every goal, it's right here, it's now.
live music every Friday night,
And $3 beer on Wednesdays.
we'll see you there.
Get your tickets while you can at uticacomets.com/tickets.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get ready for the world's premier box lacrosse event. The World Lacrosse Box Championships are coming to Utica, New York. Witness 28 men's and 10 women's teams from 28 countries compete for the ultimate title. From September 20th to the 29th, experience 133 electrifying games at the Adirondack Bank Center and Utica University Nexus Center. Catch up to 16 games a day with intense action every 45 minutes. And don't miss the vibrant vendor village. Get your tickets now at EmpireStateTix.com.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Celebrating our 10th anniversary, the beautiful red, white, and blue will once again appear along Utica's Memorial Parkway as the Good News Center once again presents Flags for Heroes, honoring our active military, veterans, and first responders. Hi, this is Brian Seville, Executive Director of the Good News Center.
And this is Jackie Warmoth, Vice President of Citron's Clinical Development. Be a part of this beautiful tribute displaying the red, white, and blue of 1,000 American flags along the Utica Memorial Parkway, November 1st through the 11th.
All proceeds will benefit Citron's military program. This program helps veterans and service members returning from duty who are faced with physical, psychological, and emotional changes in their lives.
You can show your support and gratitude by sponsoring a flag in honor or memory of your loved one for only $40. Call us today at 315-735-6210 or log on to thegoodnewscenter.org. Flags for Heroes, November 1st to the 11th. A special thank you to Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas for sponsoring our 10th annual Flags for Hero event. Please sponsor a flag today.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right. And let's give Bill a chance to win from Stidville. Hobica's free money question of the day. From Joseph and Andrew Hobica, 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. William, Bill, and Stidville, good morning.
Good morning.
You ready to go?
I am.
I think you'll know this. For $200 of Hobica's dough, here's your question.
You need to put that up.
This is from, by the way, the classic candy category.
Ooh, I like it.
First called the Papa Sucker. It was nothing but caramel on a stick. What was it called? Ready, go.
Tootsie Pop.
What did you call the Tootsie Pop? Is it the Tootsie Pop?
Oh, boy.
That's the Sugar Daddy.
Sugar Daddy.
I wonder why they changed.
That's got a different term nowadays.
I wonder why they changed it from Papa Sucker.
Yeah, I wonder.
They just didn't think that name worked well.
Now
give me a Papa Sucker and 2 Gobstoppers, please. Yeah, the Sugar Daddy.
Now the Sugar Daddy and the Sugar Baby have whole different meanings.
They do. You're right.
A Sugar Baby
completely
candy.
left the candy world.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, we're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's good at the Comets games, lacrosse this week.
Taylor and the Cook, we used one.
And also Aquavino, Babes, and all of that. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up, Bill, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. And Ryan Nobles from NBC. Ryan, we got you in here. Good morning.
For a second there, I thought I was the first caller, and I did not know the answer to that question.
You did not.
I also would not have won Joe Habaika's money.
Had you ever heard of the Papa Sucker?
I'd not heard of the Papa Sucker, but I do remember the Sugar Baby. That once you said the name, it came back to me. I know the candy of which you speak, but I did not know that it was its original name. Yeah.
Good morning, Ryan Nobles. First of all, before we get into any politics, Ryan Schmelz says hi. He is on apparently your board, right?
That's right. We represent the correspondents, the radio and television correspondents that cover Capitol Hill, and I'm the chair of that board, and Ryan is a member of that board, does a great job for us. He's a good friend of mine, and he and I just we're part of the organizing committee for our famous dinner, which takes place every year, and I hope Ryan told you about his performance at that dinner. We had a karaoke competition.
We did hear about that. No, we heard about that.
Ah.
I don't know if it was when you were out.
Okay.
I think it was when Tim and I were in, yeah.
And Ryan performed Baby Hit Me One More Time by Britney Spears. At that,
wow.
at that
and
dinner.
he doesn't have
So
a guardianship, Ryan. He doesn't. So.
That's wild.
It's a wide acclaim.
That is
People are
awesome.
still talking about it.
We will definitely remind him of that. Okay, Ryan, I do want to ask you, before we get into any politics whatsoever, oh, by the way, I told him to ask you about the time I told you, I think I'm going to do a TV show when I lost my radio job. And your reaction to that was horrific.
Don't do it.
Just don't tell the story about the time I was hypnotized and performed a pop song. I don't need that to be.
I was going to bring that up. That was at Fat Cats Comedy Club, and quite a night. All right, here we go with, first of all, last night the Mets looked like a beaten team already. I mean, and you know, it was the Braves that did them in last year. I hope we're not going to fall into that trap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost convinced we probably will, and I've been bracing myself for that from the beginning because that's how this
expect
movie
the worst
usually
and
goes.
hope for the best.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do think that I'm trying not to overreact to last night. They've been on an incredible run over the past, really, 2 months, and a slight letdown, I don't think, was out of the question, given how just they've had the gas pedal all the way to the floor over these past 2 months. I mean, they dug themselves that hole in the first 2 months of the season, and now that's coming
they're out
back.
of it. I mean, best record in baseball since June.
Yeah, and now that's coming back to haunt them. But, you know, I think if you kind of dive deep into what happened last night, they just had a poor starting pitching performance, which they have not really been faced with over the past couple of months. And the guy that the Braves put on the mound last night is just somebody that's got the Mets number. So I'm hoping it's an anomaly. The problem, I think, is going to be this hurricane. I don't know when they're going to play these next 2 games. It's going to get really complicated with the end of the season.
I hope they get tonight's game in. We don't even know if they'll do that. That might not even happen.
I think the next 2 nights are very much in doubt, and I just don't know how the schedule makers are going to figure this out because these are the two most important games of the season. So it's very dicey. I'm put it this way: I'm back to being very nervous after being very hopeful.
No doubt, yeah. Well, it could answer it all out and make these 2 games really not important whatsoever if the Mets do well with them or not well, and the Braves do well over the weekend. The Mets have Milwaukee this weekend, so we'll see what happens. And then the Bills the other night. Holy crap, I never expected that.
Listen, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but I think they're the best team in football. I think they are the most complete team. I think they're the best coach team. I think they have the best quarterback. I just think that I think they might have finally all put it together. And this, the strategy that they had going into the season of not having one star receiver and just finding a collection of really competent people that Josh Allen can get the football to, that seems to be working out really, really well. I know that people are going to talk about the quality of their opponents up until this point. I think Arizona is a much better team than people are giving them credit for. I think when they played the Dolphins, they were considered to be a formidable playoff team. Obviously, their season has gone in a much different direction now with the loss of their quarterback. And Jacksonville, I think, was a team that many people pointed to as being a potential playoff team. So, I mean, we're really going to find out who they are on Sunday night. I think that Baltimore is much better than their record. But right now, I think you've got to be thinking Super Bowl or bust, which I hate to put myself in that position as a Bills fan.
Well, here we go.
They look as good as they have had, as they have had over the entire course of Josh Allen's time there.
I want to switch to political strategy, and I'm witnessing a very interesting strategy coming from Democrats, and it has Republicans celebrating. You're getting Democrats, including some pretty high-level Democratic pundits and consultants, and even Fetterman in Pennsylvania coming out and saying, I think Trump could win this, or is going to win this. I feel like the strategy is don't allow what happened with Hillary Clinton, where everybody thought Hillary was going to win and people didn't get out to vote. It's almost creating a moment of desperation. You must get out and vote. Do you feel that, or do you feel like these guys really think that this race is over?
No, I can tell you that, I mean, I do think there's a messaging strategy here. They do want to be very clear with their supporters that they cannot take anything for granted. But I think that is based in the reality of the situation as well. I do think that they think that Donald Trump has a very legitimate chance of winning this race. I think they feel far more encouraged about where they stand than they did 2 months ago when Joe Biden was at the top of the ticket. There's certainly an unbelievable amount of energy. There's certainly an unbelievable amount of fundraising that's pouring into the campaign that they didn't have 2 months ago. But I think that given kind of the recent run of good luck and just, good campaigning and good politics that Kamala Harris has been part of over the past 2 months, she has not, put Donald Trump in the rearview mirror. He's definitely still there. You cannot deny that he probably has 35 to 40% of the country that will vote for him under any circumstance. And that means that this is a toss-up election, especially the way the Electoral College plays itself out. I talked to Tim Kaine a week ago, who, of course, was the vice presidential running mate of Hillary Clinton at the time in 2016 in a race that Democrats thought they were going to cruise and win. And he believes that right now, the way the Electoral College is set up right now, the Democrats really have to run 4 or 5 points ahead on the national ballot and the popular vote in order to guarantee victory, because the way that these votes are dispersed now and the power that exists in some of these red states that kind of overcomes the power that exists in some of the bluer states. So, she's certainly, I saw a poll this morning that showed her up 7 points nationally. That may be what it takes in order to win this campaign, I think, in November.
How about, and among those pundits out there, consultant James Carville, Democratic consultant Carville, whose wife is a Republican consultant, he is saying he expects a pivotal event, something that is going to happen, an October surprise that is going to end up determining this election. What do you think?
I don't. I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. I mean, this campaign has been so tumultuous and so many things have happened. The only reason that I am a little skeptical of that is the first part being that I do think the opinions of these candidates are pretty baked in a way that they haven't been before. Although, there's certainly been movement for Kamala Harris. I don't know if you saw our NBC News poll from over the weekend that shows that her favorable ratings have flipped in such a way that we haven't seen with a president or presidential candidate since George W. Bush in the wake of 9/11. So she's really changed the opinion that a lot of Americans have about her. But I think the biggest dynamic in this campaign that makes me think an October surprise is less likely to have a huge impact is the volume of people that are already voting.
Yeah, that's true.
I was in Virginia last Friday. They kicked off early voting 45 days ahead of Election Day. There's a real possibility that more than half of Americans will cast their ballot before Election Day or through the mail absentee, which means that with each passing day, you have less and less of an impact to make, or opportunity, I should say, to make an impact on the broader electorate. So, if you get to if say something happens on October 20th, and you've already had, 35 to 40% of the people voting, it's just going to make it that much more difficult to have the kind of broad impact that would shift the election in one direction or another. But I say that if it's a 1 or 2 point race, anything counts. So you never know.
And then finally, about 60 seconds, the Congress is about to kick the can down past the election, and we will not see a government shutdown.
Yep, they're going to vote on it today. I think the House is going to do their part, and then I think the Senate will wrap it up really quickly. It's going to set down a pretty big showdown over Christmas, but I think a lot of things that you're seeing here is that these members of Congress have decided they're going to put these big decisions in the hands of voters as opposed to trying to do something long term. I think, the winner of the election is going to decide what the budget looks like for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think you see both sides willing to just kind of take a step back and say, let's wait and see what happens in December.
This is a race when Donald Trump last night announced at a rally, get out and vote early. Even though he criticized it, he still told his voters to get out and vote early. So that's something
exactly right.
That did not happen before. Very interesting. All right, Ryan, we appreciate it. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk next week. Go Bills, go Mets.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thanks so much. Ryan. Ryan Nobles from NBC. And coming up, you can watch him on TV. He'll be all over the TV today. Got a break. We have news coming up straight ahead. A whole bunch to get to coming up next hour here on Wednesday morning on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Trump targeted by Iran. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. The former president's campaign says he's gotten a briefing from President Biden's Director of National Intelligence Office about alleged threats from Iran's government to assassinate him. A man accused of trying to assassinate Trump in Florida faces new charges related to that now. He was held on gun charges. And now a new report about the first attempt in Pennsylvania.
The Senate Homeland Security Committee releasing their report after conducting dozens of interviews with the Secret Service personnel responsible for planning and securing Trump's Butler rally. The committee finding that the Secret Service, quote, failed to ensure the AGR roof was adequately covered by either Secret Service or local counter-snipers. The report also revealing a Secret Service agent specifically requested drone equipment days before the rally, but it was denied with no explanation.
Fox's Brooks Singman, a Secret Service statement says the Senate report largely aligns with its own. Israel's military says it's intercepted a missile near the city of Tel Aviv that Hezbollah militants say was targeting the headquarters of Israel's Mossad intelligence service. House Speaker Mike Johnson has a vote scheduled today on a temporary spending bill to prevent a government shutdown a week from today.
Facing GOP opposition, Johnson asking Democrats for help to move it forward, calling this the last available play. The speaker coming up short last week with a package offering a 6-month stopgap that included a measure to require proof of U.S. citizenship for voter registrations. The latest legislation includes $230 million in funding for the Secret Service. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer urging House Republicans to expedite passing it, stressing the Senate will move quickly once receiving the bill. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Executed in Missouri, Marcellus Williams, convicted of murdering Alicia Gale during a home burglary in 1998. Her family had asked that his life be spared, and his attorneys raised questions about jury selection and the handling of evidence. America's listening to Fox News.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is, Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Thousands of people are under evacuation orders in western Florida. Tropical storm Helene is getting more intense, expected to make landfall as a major hurricane tomorrow. Life-threatening storm surge is forecast along the entire west coast of the Florida Peninsula and Big Bend. A cybersecurity outage last July that affected devices around the world is taken up by a House subcommittee.
A CrowdStrike senior VP, Adam Myers, told committee members,
"Our vision is to protect good people from bad things."
But the July 19th outage was pretty bad, shutting down services. And as House Homeland Security Subcommittee Chair Andrew Garbarino of New York put it,
the blue screen of death appearing on impacted systems worldwide.
Myers told members there is still a sense of urgency to address what happened and review and activate plans.
To bolster our content, update procedures so that we emerge from this experience as a stronger company.
Able to ensure the kind of outage brought on by an error cannot be duplicated by hostile enemies. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
There was a Senate hearing about drug prices.
Lars Jorgensen, the CEO of Novo Nordisk, which makes the popular obesity drug Ozempic, as well as drugs to treat diabetes, facing questions about medications that can cost hundreds of dollars a month.
We don't decide the price for patients. That's set by the insurance companies.
Jorgensen says he's happy to work with Congress on solutions and says no single company can solve the issue of high drug cost alone. Some lawmakers point out Ozempic can cost less than $100 a month in some European countries. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Thailand will be the third country in Asia, the first in Southeast Asia, to recognize same-sex marriage, with Thailand's king endorsing and signing a marriage equality bill into law. It takes effect in 120 days, so January 22nd. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. This update brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts. There's some sad news to report about a woman who was struck by an SUV in Syracuse over the weekend. Family members of 24-year-old Shakira Davis tell the Post-Standard she passed away after being hit near Elmwood Park Sunday night. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene, and police are not revealing that person's name. Davis leaves behind a 1-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter. A GoFundMe has been set up to help support them. Governor Hochul says 6 providers in New York State will be sharing almost $90 million to help support critical youth mental health services. Money will go towards helping children between the ages of 11 and 17 avoid any extended stays in psychiatric emergency facilities. Hochul believes investing in key programs will make it easier for kids to get the help they need. The governor's Traffic Safety Committee is releasing the results of its latest Speed Awareness Week campaign. Data shows between September 9th and 15th, more than 50,000 tickets were handed out to motorists across the Empire State. The list of violations included speeding, distracted driving, and being behind the wheel while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Fatal crashes caused by unsafe speed increase during the summer and fall, with the highest totals being in June through October. A country music superstar is going to be out on tour, and he'll be making a stop here in central New York. Keith Urban is set to take the stage at the Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona Friday, December 6th. Urban is a multi-time Grammy Award winner and is known for hit songs like Somebody Like You and You'll Think of Me. Seats for the show go on sale Friday morning at 10 a.m. online and at the Turning Stone box office. And an artifact connected to D.B. Cooper is on display in Tacoma. A parachute that's connected to the infamous case can be seen at the Washington State History Museum. However, it's not the same one Cooper used when he hijacked a Portland to Seattle flight in 1971. He jumped from the aircraft with 2 parachutes, the second of which will be on display at the museum through March of next year. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 8:07. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. For today, we can see cloudy skies in our future with a chance of rain showers and a high in the mid-60s. Showers with a possible thunderstorm overnight, a low in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, rain showers with a possible thunderstorm. We'll see a high in the low 70s. Then Friday through Tuesday, looking pretty good. We'll see sunny skies with highs in the mid-70s. Right now, we're at 57 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Yankees dropped their series opener against the Orioles after falling 5-3 at Yankee Stadium. Clark Schmidt was charged with the loss after allowing 3 runs on 4 hits over 5 1/3 innings. Gleyber Torres went 3 for 4, but when it mattered most, he had a stupid base running error, and Aaron Judge hit his 56th home run of the season. New York is now leading the AL East by 5 games at 92-65. They'll continue their 3-game set tonight in the Bronx in their hopes to clinch the division with just one more win. The Mets were unable to extend their winning streak after falling to the Braves 5-1 in their series opener at Truist Park. New York remains in the second NL wildcard spot at 87-70, still a half game up on the Diamondbacks, but now just 1 game ahead of the Braves. The series continues tonight in Atlanta. It is must-win fashion. Hall of Fame NFL quarterback Brett Favre has Parkinson's disease. He made the admission while testifying at a House Ways and Means Committee hearing looking into welfare reform. The Green Bay Packers great has been accused of using political connections to redirect public money to the University of Southern Mississippi, his alma mater. Favre is one of over a dozen defendants in a civil suit looking to recoup those funds. And the Steelers are still playing coy about naming a starting quarterback. Head coach Mike Tomlin told the media Tuesday that there's, quote, no need to name Justin Fields the starter because there's a lot of complex decisions that need to be made each week. He noted that when Russell Wilson recovers from his calf injury, then a decision will need to be made. Pittsburgh won all 3 of its games with Fields. To open the season, they sit first in the AFC North. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:10. I want to tell you about Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. Not only on Genesee Street, but there are now 3 other locations as Dr. Tim Delmedico has essentially sold his chiropractic business to focus on getting people better and relief from their pain with softwave therapy. It's a revolutionary technology that Dr. Tim Delmedico was the first to market here in the area. It uses high-speed sound waves to send into your impacted area to promote natural healing through your body's natural stem cells being directed to that area. It promotes blood flow to that area to promote natural healing. It's an alternative to possibly surgery, drug-free treatment, and you can possibly avoid those pain injections you might have to go and have every quarter. Professional sports teams are using this technology, like the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and even the New York Giants for their pains in the locker room. They've got a lot of them. Also, the Cleveland Clinic, the Mayo Clinic, and Team USA all using softwave therapy in their locker rooms. And Dr. Tim Delmedico is such a believer that he's actually a distributor of this technology to other practitioners. He just wants to see people's pain be healed. So it could help you, and they may be able to help by calling 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427. Let them know you heard about them on the Keeler Show, and you'll get a sweet discount part of Discovery Days, a consultation with one of their doctors, your first softwave therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a plan and an assessment to get you on the right path. ReviveUtica.com is the website, ReviveUtica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy. Genesee Street in Utica, and now 3 other local locations.
I want to ask you, and by the way, do you have paperwork on what's next?
Yes, I do.
I want to ask you what you think is...
We have to break first, but yes.
I will. What you think is the safest car, truck, SUV, whatever, the safest vehicle on the roads in America is right now... Here at the end of 2024, according to Consumer Reports.
Oh, that's a good question.
What is the safest vehicle on the road New car on the road. All right.
Is it the Mazda?
Let me go through this just a little bit. This, according to Consumer Reports, this just came out. They look at simple controls and displays, braking performance, AEB with pedestrian detection. I know I have that. Highway speed AEB, blind spot warning, emergency handling, rear cross traffic warning.
Ooh.
I love that on my vehicle. As I'm backing up out of a parking spot, the alarm goes off if there's... I can't even see it. I can't see it.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
The alarm's going off. Or there's some old lady out there trying to figure out how to push the cart. And there she is. I would have hit her otherwise.
Oh, boy.
What protects the people inside? These are questions. What protects the people outside? What we're talking about. The number one vehicle on the road today in the United States of America is the Mazda CX-90.
Wow.
According to Consumer Reports. The CX-90, which was introduced to me last year, I now drive it, I love it, at Steve Ponte Mazda. Introduced as a new model in 2023, earned a good score, the highest in the IIHS test. It maintained a survival space that kept the crash test dummy from being crushed and prevented chest, hip, leg, and foot injuries. The Mazda's airbags protected the dummy's head as well. It is listed as the number one vehicle in terms of safety.
So you're saying the Mazda CX-90 will protect dummies? That's good to know.
CX protects dummies like me. Better airbags, good survival space. By the way, while this, I am kind of turning this into the commercial, the live commercial for.
Oh, this wasn't the commercial.
It wasn't the commercial.
Just
I was going to run this
share.
anyways. Even just to be fair, the number two vehicle is the Dodge Durango, but number one is the Mazda CX-90. And you can get it right now and get a great deal with Ricky Z at Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. 0% APR financing. You can find out at Steve Ponte what that means. You have good credit, you might as well take advantage of that. You could get 0% APR financing. Or you could lease the vehicle. How about the CX-5 SE model? Another safe vehicle. Only $285 a month on a 36-month lease. Or you could do the CX-90, which is a beautiful, and now we know, safe, not just safe, but safest vehicle on the road today. As Rick says, Ricky Z, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve, what I did there, I don't know if you noticed, I took a news story and merged it into a commercial for Rick and everybody over at Steve Ponte Mazda.
That was impressive.
I wouldn't call it impressive. I would call it brilliant. I'm sorry.
Whatever you say.
Whatever I say. Let's make your... Actually, I would call it... I didn't have the copy available, so I'm like, I'll just read this news story.
Love it.
Turns out it's a real story, and it's in the current issue, in the current assessment from Consumer Reports. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
By now, you've probably heard of Upside, the free app that gets you real cash back at gas stations. But Upside is so much more than just a gas app. Upside lets you earn cash back at more than 85,000 grocery stores, gas stations, and restaurants, including popular national chains and local favorites. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back on your purchase. There are no complicated points or rebates. With Upside, you can earn up to $10 cash back every time you go to the grocery store or dine out. That's up to $10 right back in your pocket on every meal out and every grocery run. The best part? You can earn on top of your credit or debit card rewards. Download Upside today. Use promo code SNACK10 and get a 10% cashback bonus on your first purchase. Get the Upside app and use promo code SNACK10 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. That's promo code SNACK10. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Summer congestion got you down? Whether it's allergies or a summer cold, being congested can change your whole day. You feel tired and run down like you're missing out on summer fun. At Navage, we're here to make breathing easy, easier. Navage uses patented gentle suction technology to help clear out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs without drugs. In as fast as 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Look for Navage in brand new packaging. Navage, fresh new look, same great product. I want to learn.
Call us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
John in Bridgewater, the vehicle you're driving, Bill. So I said, what do you think the safest vehicle on the road is today, according to Consumer Reports? And John guessed. He guessed correctly. CX-90. The Mazda. On the question about what schools have changed their names, like we mentioned, Whitesboro is still the Warriors. You had a risk in each change.
Right.
Whitesboro, like other schools, had a survey for a new name. Overwhelmingly, more than 85% of respondents did not want to change, and the remaining 15% had a couple for X and a couple for Y, but no overwhelming favorite, John in Deerfield. The problem, though, is I think that at some point the state is going to require it, or they're going to hold back state aid. And that will be a problem. Now, I don't know that that's the case. Maybe Whitesboro doesn't fall under the category where they have to make the change. Maybe I don't understand the situation at all. I'm sure that's it. Ellen Rainey is from the Women's Fund. You ask the question? Go ahead.
What question is that?
What is the Women's Fund?
What is the Women's
Fund?
Yeah.
I can,
I admittedly, I think I already know what it is.
I can answer that because you don't know, even though you probably do. The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties, with the support of Baird Private Wealth Management, Up Mobility Foundation, and the Griffiths Institute. It's called the Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties. And they are sponsoring five $5,000 grants.
That's awesome.
A total of $25,000 to women in business in Herkimer and Oneida counties. That's pretty cool. And on the line to talk about it is Ellen Rainey from the Women's Fund. Ellen, good morning.
Good morning.
I should have just said to you, what is the Women's Fund? And I think did we get it right? I mean, this really supports.
Good talking to you, Alan. Thanks.
This
Yeah,
supports,
thanks so much. That was great.
This supports women in business, right?
Well, the Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida counties does support women in business, but generally it supports women and girls in our area and seeks to empower them. And we've been doing that for more than 25 years.
Okay, let's talk about this. These grants, there are 5 of them. And what are the qualifications in order to even be nominated and be potentially a part of this?
Sure. Well, you can find all of the information on our website, which is womensfundhoc.org. But to summarize, you need to be a business that is located in Herkimer or Oneida County, is at least 51% women-owned, and has been in business for at least a year.
Okay. And at least 51%. I think you see that in a lot of companies where maybe it's family-owned, but women own the majority of it. A lot of benefits to being a woman-owned business in New York State.
There sure are, and there are a lot of women-owned businesses in New York State. And women in business still face a lot of challenges. You know, it's still a men's world in a lot of ways out there, and so we're here to try to uplift the women in our community.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't think Town Square needs any more money, be honest with you, but I want to tell you, you should give them an award for, like, everyone here in control is a woman. Mm-hmm. Everybody.
Good.
Yeah.
That's why it's so great. That's why it's such a great organization.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I have 0 complaints about it. To be honest,
it's good you're saying that now. Consider we may not be here tomorrow.
Listen,
I'm
just going to tell you, to be honest with you, that I think sometimes women make far better decisions than men, and that's maybe I'm just that kind of guy.
Our significant others, were they in the right frame of mind choosing us, Bill?
That was their first bad decision. Since then, good decisions all the way around. So, how does one apply?
So, again, the best way to apply, go to our website, womensfundhoc.org. Right on the homepage of our website, you will find a link to business grants, women investing in women. Click through there. All the information that you need to submit is there. You can submit online. And the important thing is that the deadline to submit is this Monday, September 30th. So there are only 5 more days to apply.
And Ellen, this can be a new startup, one that's kind of in the beginning phases, or an already existing women's business.
And what can the money be used for?
So it can't be a brand new startup. It needs to have been in business for at least a year, but otherwise it can be a small business, a big business, doesn't matter. The money can be used for almost anything except salaries. We have funded computers. We have funded computer programs. We have funded people wanting to buy startup materials to sell. It's whatever you need that will help your business thrive. The key is that it needs to be $5,000 or less. We only make grants up to $5,000 for this program.
So if you needed a piece of equipment or a piece of a computer or some software, and it's expensive, it's $15,000. You may, it would
offset
be
it.
Enormous to be able to offset that with a $5,000 grant.
Absolutely. And we welcome grant applications where there are partners helping with this, or where the business itself is kicking in some of it and we are helping. So it doesn't have to be something under $5,000.
And Ellen, if you could just talk about some of the listen, I have a daughter in college right now who was going through quite a little thing last year at the end of the semester with a professor who she claimed treated the female students much differently than the men. In fact, my daughter's complaint was, this guy won't even look at me. Doesn't respect us at all. He's buddies with the guys and pays no attention to the girls. And this is in a chemistry situation. So it used to be there were no females in chemistry classes. So I do know it still exists. And but these discriminations that we just kind of take for granted, and I think the average person, men and women, would say, "Come on, it's equal now. We've gotten past that hurdle."
You know, we're we'd love to think we're equal. And I'm sure that I know that there are tons of men out there who want us to be equal, and yet there's still a lot of hurdles that women face. You know, it wasn't until, I think it was 1970, when women could actually get their own bank account without a man signing for us. So it hasn't been that long. And women also, you know, I know you've got a daughter in college, but women tend to spend a lot more time parenting. So we have those parenting issues as well as business issues. It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And, you know, we think, as you said, that women make great decisions. We know that women are making great impact in our community, and we just want to help keep that going.
If I can throw this out there, the military has said for years that when testing fighter pilots, usually in training, but when testing fighter pilots, women seem to make better decisions than men do in those
decisions
scenarios.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I just want you to know I drive much better than my wife does. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but that's what the military says. So
yeah,
that's what they say. Go to the website and sign up. This is a great investment in women-owned businesses in the area, but time is ticking. The deadline is coming up on Monday. Anything else you want to add, Ellen? Anything else?
No, thank you so much for promoting this, and I thank you for promoting our sponsors as well, because we couldn't do it without our sponsors. The Women's Fund is an entirely volunteer organization, so you know, we welcome your input and support.
All right, thank you so much, Ellen. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll break. Coming up, Andrew Reed, the Reed Rundown.
Reed Rundown.
Where he takes three legal topics that are usually very interesting and breaks them down from a legal standpoint. I love it. We'll get to that coming up. Also, did you know SUNY Poly is ranked in the top 10 of public schools in New York for value?
Yes.
It's a great place to go to school. We'll get to all of that coming right up at WIBX.
Shop with confidence at Mattress Express with our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days of purchase, bring it to our attention. We simply refund the difference. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hack-A-Polito winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st, when you buy 4 select winter all-season and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
I got my together.
I got my together.
You can get your shots together too. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For the past 3 decades, the Good News Center has been committed to building relationships. Better family relationships, a better relationship with God, and a better relationship with yourself. When your marriage is struggling or in chaos, your whole family suffers. The third option offers communication skills to build respect, trust, and intimacy in your relationship. If your marriage needs a pick-me-up or it needs a complete overhaul, the third option gives you the tools to rebuild. This group is mentored by your peers, people whose relationships were struggling. They have learned to use the tools to better their marriage. Please call the Good News Center to find out more about the third option or our other support groups at 315-735-6210 or visit us at thegoodnewscenter.org. These programs are free and confidential. Call 315-735-6210. The Good News Center, building relationships for over 30 years.
Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. Made in America, made for you, and made to last. Artesian Spas are designed with your wellness in mind, and Tucker Backyard has many styles and designs displayed in their one-of-a-kind showroom. Come see for yourself and experience fully functional spas in their unique setting. Ben Tucker and his staff will be happy to assist with their interactive showroom, helping you pick out the right spa fitting both your needs and budget. Relax in your new spa this fall with Tucker Backyard and Artesian. While there, ask about the new line of fiberglass pools, built to last for years and never needing a liner. Beauty and complete durability more affordable than ever before. Add fun, comfort, wellness, and value to your home with Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas is your authorized dealer for Artesian Spas. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, 1 mile west of Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. We bring the fun to your backyard.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
Coming up, I want to tell you about a buffet that is our restaurant of the month. A buffet, an Italian buffet that you can get, eat in or bring it home for dinner. And it is every day from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. But you could pick up, bring it home, and that could be dinner time.
What? What is this place?
If I'm thinking of the one that you're talking about, I have tried it, and it's very good.
Okay. We're going to talk about it in a second, but I want to go to Andrew Reed because it's time for the Reed Rundown. I think you should drop the thunder.
I know, just the explosion.
Here's Andrew Reed right now. Good morning, Andrew, attorney. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be on.
Glad to have you. We're going to, as you know, throw 3 legal topics at you, and you give me your take on all of it. Am I correct in saying that you have a your one of your specialties would be trademark law and that sort of thing?
Trademarks, copyrights, patents, yes, sir.
Love it. Have we ever talked about the Candyland story from up here?
I don't know that we ever have with him.
So it was a candy that's been made called Turkey Joints in a candy store that's been around for I don't know, since like 1915 or something. And they had Candyland, and they had the trademark on Candyland, and then all of a sudden, Parker Brothers or whatever one it was,
Hasbro or Parker
Hasbro,
Brothers,
they might have been
whatever it
Hasbro. They started making Candyland ice cream and Candyland candy and all this stuff, and so they sued them. And clearly, the rightful owner was this tiny little wonderful candy shop in Rome, New York, that made
delicious.
these unbelievable candies that sell out every year for Christmas called Turkey Joints. It's chocolate and it's just so good. Anyway, they just ate them up. They just kept hitting him with delay after delay, and then by the time they were done, they just ran out of attorney's fees and just finally settled with them. The big guy always seems to win out.
Unfortunately, that is not an uncommon occurrence.
Yeah,
it's one. Unfortunately, that is a situation, and it's one. There have been changes in litigation. There are companies that, especially if there's damages involved, there's what's called litigation financing. There are companies that will come in and help fund the litigation. So that's helped in some respects, to use the term, even the playing field a little bit, but it still doesn't change everything. So it's one, there's still a large cost with any litigation, and sometimes, unfortunately, it is cheaper to settle than to ultimately fight it all the way out.
That's sad. Nonetheless, let me throw 3 topics at you. Let's start with topic number 1. Miley Cyrus sued over an alleged Bruno Mars plagiarism case in Flowers.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
What do you think here?
Yeah, so this is the case. She's been accused of copyright infringement for one of Bruno Mars' songs. But what is interesting here, just a little note, is that it's actually the company that owns the copyright for the song, not Bruno Mars himself that is actually suing. He sold his library to this company, and they're the ones that are actually moving to enforce it. So that's going to be the interesting thing. And as noted in at least one report, another interesting thing that's going to be one that we will follow for sure on this case is that there's a question of whether this song is actually a commentary on the Bruno Mars song, not necessarily a plagiarism. So it's one, there'll be one to follow that to see, does that actually play out, or is there more of a looking at how similar is the song, which is the traditional way a copyright case is decided.
I mean, there's the similarity in the fact that she says she can buy herself flowers, and the Bruno Mars song says I should have bought you flowers, but I don't hear any similarity in the song as far as like the musical notes and stuff. But we hear about these lawsuits all the time.
My sweet Lord. I think that was ridiculous. And it is just a thing it happens a lot. If there's a chance, the reality is there's a lot of money there. So it can be attractive for an attorney to take on a case like this.
That's one of those. Sometimes that is how this goes, and other times they look at it and they say, no, we believe there's infringement, and they charge forward.
Topic number 2, the U.S. FTC is suing drug gatekeepers over the high price of insulin. This has been going on for a long time. What do you think?
This will be one to watch because of several things that have happened this year. According to the reports that have come out about this case, this is looking at the pharmacy benefit managers for these major insurance companies, which, as some have laid out in some of the reports, they say that these are the middlemen between the drug companies and the pharmacies, and that's how the prices are controlled. That's essentially part of what the argument that has been made here, according to some of the reports by the FTC. So we'll be watching that. But there's a lot of questions here, just because of the election. What's going on with how are these decisions being made at those benefit managers? How are these decisions being made by the insurance companies? Is there a play there? There's all sorts of questions that are going to be coming out about this case.
All right, and then finally, the third topic. This is a good example of you have free speech. We all have free speech, but there are some limits to your free speech. A 25-year-old Philadelphia man pleads guilty to federal charges that he made bomb and mass shooting threats over a fantasy football feud. Now, one would say you have that, I'm going to kill you. Well, you can't be arrested for murder or attempted murder by saying something like that. But in this case, this guy went way overboard, right? He said it wasn't him with the bomb. It was the guy he was feuding with.
That is what happened here. And that's where, essentially, rather than making the threats directly, he claimed that it was someone else. So now there's a whole list of issues there with this case, but ultimately, at least as it stands right now, this individual will, from what it appears, likely have at least either some jail time or some major fines. We'll have to wait and see how the judge or jury decides that. But yes, so this gentleman made reports that someone had made threats. And so that's ultimately what happened, though in what has come out, at least one of the reports is, in the thread that he cited each time, it ultimately was him that had made a threat. So it's one of those, it's a confusing fact pattern, but ultimately this person made false tips that triggered major investigations, even internationally. One of the threats was involving the country of Norway. One was involving a university in Iowa. So it's just a whole big mess all over fantasy football.
Listen, it's serious stuff, that fantasy football.
There's some big money in it too,
As always, Andrew Reed, we appreciate you and the fact that you come on for the Read Report. Thank you so much.
The Read Rundown, not report.
Sorry, the Read Rundown. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Have
Glad
a great
to be
day.
on.
Thank you so much. Great legal mind right there.
We've got a lot of
us
Andrews in the hour.
A lot of information. Coming up, we'll talk about SUNY Poly being one of the ranked in the top 10 of public schools in New York State when it comes to value. Are you looking, Davey, what was the, I don't want to, just in case I'm wrong, I don't want to screw it up. So you tell me if I'm right. Tony's Pizzeria in Washington Mills on Oneida Street, if you're Googling it, it's in technically New Hartford, but it's on Oneida Street, has an Italian buffet. Is that where you were?
Correct, Bill.
Okay.
So good. So
right.
It's so good.
If you've done Chinese, you've done Lebanese, you've done Indian, you've done Ponderosa, they're gone now, but you're looking for a real delicious Italian buffet that you can bring things home, and there are a lot of items, right? It's loaded with items.
Yeah, very good. Salad, pizza.
Tony's of Washington Mills presents the only Italian buffet around. 16 hot dish items available every day for lunch from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. So today, from pastas to greens to sausage and peppers, they aim to carry what it is you would like, and you can fill up the containers, take it home, and that becomes dinner. And listen to this, $15.95 plus tax per person, $9.99 for children 5 to 10, free for kids under 5. Does your office want to have a hot buffet lunch delivered right to them? Call Tony's in Washington Mills at 315-737-9172 and tell them the number of people, and they'll bring the food to you for each individual. It's an Italian buffet every weekday, 11 till 3 only at Tony's in Washington Mills.
WIBX. This is Keeler.
Let's try that again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hack-A-Polito winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st, when you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-559-8226. 800-559-8226. 800-559-8226.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I want to say Dr. Andy Russell is with SUNY Poly. He is SUNY Poly Provost. And did you want me to say more?
No, that's it.
And
that's
former
not just it, but
former WIBX employee, believe it or not. And he's on the line right now. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the Andrew Show.
So what, believe me, that's what...
There's a lot of Andrews going around.
He keeps it. We're now outnumbered. It's over with. Tell me, when were you at WIBX? About 10 years ago?
Oh, gosh. No, it was more than that. It was closer to 30 years ago, right when I was going to college.
You should probably get some sort of an award because there are very few IBX employees who go on to be doctors.
I'd love to hear about the others who are in the club. It was a good foundation for me.
Crickets. I think you might be the only one.
Yeah.
You may be the only one. What was the doc there, whatever his name was at the OUR, but he wasn't a real doctor.
No.
They just called him that.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
Doc of Rock.
The doctor.
By the way, are you Dr. Andy Russell? Are you a Mets fan, a Bills fan? Who do you like?
I'm a Fairweather Yankees fan, and taking to the Bills lately. This guy, Josh Allen, there's a lot to like there.
It's hard to, like, watching them on Monday night on ESPN, watching them, like, saying, how do you not say this guy is something special when you see the stuff that he does, even in games that don't kind of go as well as what happened on Monday night? I mean, it's hard not to be excited about this guy.
He's got guts. That's what I like about him. I mean, obviously he's talented, but he's a gutsy guy.
Yeah, like even they convinced him to slide, but I could hear it from the sidelines the other night. Not head first. We didn't tell you to slide head first, because that ain't good.
No, he's cut from the same cloth that people in Buffalo and up here are. So
No doubt.
You can see why people love him.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right there. Just recently, SUNY Poly ranked in the top 10 of public schools, colleges, and universities in New York State that are where you get the best value, and that's a good place to be right now.
Sure is. We're really proud of it. We're really proud of what we've accomplished. These rankings, people ask me about rankings, and there's a little bit of arbitrariness to it, but there's some really interesting numbers behind the scenes here. So especially when it comes to best value in social mobility, these are numbers from the Department of Education. So this isn't just stuff we're making up.
Yeah.
A SUNY Poly grad makes 20% more in salary than the average four-year college graduate, while also having 50% less debt.
Wow.
So those are just bare facts. I can talk about why that is, but those are the facts. It's great. It's great for SUNY Poly.
And the old from SUNY Tech to SUNY Poly, it's very interesting how this college has been able to change with the times, with the needs of the community, with the needs of the market.
That's just it. We've had a lot of support from our elected officials. The state has been a great benefactor for us, investing in infrastructure, investing in people. Local electeds like Marianne Buttonshaw, Joe Griffo, Tony Pacenti, they've really been heroes for us. Royanne DeStito is our college council chair, so her presence always helps. But, what we do here on campus is make sure that our programs are updated to be demand-driven programs and to really match the needs of our partners in the region. So whether that's semiconductor industry, healthcare, traditional industry, business, nursing, whatever it might be, that's what we're listening to.
I would ask you about the impact that the school is having in this area with the surge in new technologies like nano.
Yeah, it's teamwork. It's all about teamwork. So anytime we talk to companies or any local gatherings, you see the network of organizations and people that's important to help these companies thrive. So we hear about the newcomers like Wolfspeed and Danfoss, and they're great neighbors. They employ a lot of our students. They take interns. There's also companies that have been around for a long time, like Indium, Fiber Instrument Sales, Chris Tech, and they inform the whole ecosystem that really drives success for people. So that's why when our students come through here and graduate, that's why their income's so good. That's why their social mobility is so good. It takes the whole region, not just industry, not just higher ed, but healthcare, childcare. That's why people want to move to the area. That's why people stay in the area.
And I should say that it's important. This is a survey that was done, but it's an annual survey, and it's not just any survey. This is the 2025 U.S. News and World Rankings of Education. So this is while there are a lot of debates over these types of lists, I think that it's important to note that this is reputable, but beyond that, the category that you fall into is pretty cut and dry.
That's right.
You're either affordable or you're not.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, there's some aspects of these rankings that are reputation-based, and, a lot of the bigger universities can game the system and juke the numbers, but no, this is based on federally reported data.
All right. Anything else you want to add? A great athletic program, too, that you guys are developing up there.
Yeah, we joined the Empire 8. We're really excited about the direction things are going there. Our teams are having a great fall season. We've got 1 year renovations to go in our campus center before we unveil the new campus center and the new Kevin Grimmer court at the campus center. So
awesome.
1 year we're playing basketball in the field house, and then we'll be back in our home court.
All right, good stuff. Do you want to take us to break? This is Andy Russell, WIBX, something like that. Probably not. Don't.
This is Andy Russell, WIBX.
I love it. See, you can tell. It's like you never left.
You want to come back and work here? Or?
I love it. I love it. Anytime.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right, thanks. So that's cool.
Yeah, very cool. And it's always good to see when somebody from WIBX goes and does something even greater.
Not the only WIBX person who found themselves at SUNY Poly and then left and retired. You know who that is?
I'm trying to think.
Mr. John Swan.
John Swan.
Yeah.
Yes. Author extraordinaire now.
I just have a few minutes. So instead of breaking, I'm just going to keep going with some stuff. You want to throw some comments in? We got a ton of them.
Yes.
Some people, listen, if you're that angry, take a deep breath. Don't let things bother you. Life is too short to let all of this bother you. Although I was talking to somebody yesterday about how everybody's against everybody. Like if you say something online, they're screaming at you. If you say who you're going to vote for, be careful. You're going to get screamed at.
Yeah.
And it really is on both sides. Sure, Democrats are going to say, the conservatives, the Republicans are so angry right now. And Republicans and conservatives are going to say, the liberals and the Democrats, they are so angry right now. But the reality is it's everybody.
Yeah.
And do you know, can you imagine in politics, has there ever been a time where people have gotten a divorce over
political beliefs,
a person's political beliefs?
Listen, if Kellyanne Conway and her husband can make it, and
they didn't make it.
I think they're together.
I don't think they are, but the Carville
and his wife.
Yeah.
I think Kellyanne and her husband are still together.
You look it up.
But like people get mad at me when I don't give the code words to win Keeler's cash. Like at 8 a.m. it was supposed to be 736.
Could they put that in still now?
They can, yeah.
I'm not asking like I know the answer. I really don't know the
736, or if you wait till 9 o'clock, the 9 a.m. code word will be 701.
All right, so 736 right now.
And 701, Keeler's cash code at 9 a.m.
And do we have some tickets to give away for box lacrosse too?
Yeah,
we can do that too.
Yeah, 736-0186.
All right, if you want to go, we have Davey knows how many we have. So you have. We'll do maybe. Let's do 3 pair today. Are they for today's game?
The 26th, I think.
Okay, so for tomorrow. All right, let's do 3 pairs right now. And that gives you a pass. You're making your way around the place at the Odd or at Nexus. So check it out. 315-736-0186. The first 3 callers, you'll get tickets. And Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for flooring. Any kind of flooring you're looking for, it's the largest inventory you're going to find anywhere. That includes the big box stores. And Sarah's has you covered with whatever it is that you need. The largest inventory. And yes, they have 6 months interest-free financing going on right now. And get a $50 coupon off their website at insarasflooringoutlet.com. Pergo Extreme, you have the 60-mile price radius guarantee. That is a guarantee you get the best possible price within a 60-mile radius. And you know that Pergo Extreme is just an amazing product. With waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. It's 100% dent-proof. And carpeting, tile, any type of flooring that you're looking for, even the most beautiful hardwoods you're going to find anywhere. Great selection, unique selection, and you can get it at Insara's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy. Some of the comments here this morning. I'll go to Andrew. What do you have?
Deeds in New Hartford. I can tell that especially if you're fresh out of college, you will be paid as if you only have a GED at Fiber Instrument Sales. It's not a good first job unless you have nothing else going for you. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Well, listen, there are a lot of jobs that
you have to start somewhere to work your way up.
Try working in radio.
Also, Deeds saying the doctor was Jerry Krause, and he was critical of Jerry, saying he was terrible.
Oh, he did not like Jerry.
Deeds said that.
Okay. All right. For champion. This is John, QAnon John, saying, be careful. Big things are coming. I wish you would just tell us what those big things are.
Why do you have to leave it a surprise? If you know what's happening, please warn us.
He's saying the world is about to change. America is about to change.
Yeah, but see, that's
in fact, this isn't even
vague.
This isn't even the America that you think it is. You don't even know who's running. We're about to take the country back, QAnon. It's about to take the country back, and we'll be worshiping or following Q. I don't know what's going on with this.
Mind your P's and Q's.
John, we will sit and wait for your guidance, and we will act accordingly. John, thank you. Gotta go. Kill me next after news.
Need new tires? Nokian Tires is celebrating 90 years of legendary Hakkapeliitta winter tires with a consumer rebate. Now through October 31st. When you buy 4 select winter, all-season, and all-weather tires, you can save up to $80 by mail on a MasterCard prepaid card. Offer expires October 31st, 2024. Experience the thrill of savings on every mile at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Visit their stores and meet their team of experts, or schedule your appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard,